Well, the Dallas Cowboys are making headlines today with former ESPN anchor Trey Wingo reporting that the franchise is inquiring about Raiders defensive end Max Crosby. Crosby is under contract beyond this season, signing a 3-year, $106 million extension earlier this year. NFL trade deadline is November 4th. NBA season begins tonight. 2 games on the schedule. Houston at OKC, Golden State at the Lakers. Spurs play tomorrow.
SportsCenter brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowt.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh, on a Tuesday that just got more exciting the longer the afternoon goes on. Oh, my goodness. Buckle up. Get ready. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix, and the rumor mill is churning.
Bring Max home. That's going to be the chant among Cowboy fans.
As it should be. I tell you what, if the Cowboys can pull that off somehow, some way, Max Crosby, is who we're talking about, Raiders defensive end, my goodness, the prospects and the hope meter goes up tenfold.
You think about Max Crosby grew up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, went to Colleyville Heritage, if I remember correctly. It would be bringing him home. Now, good buddy of ours named Q Myers is at the Raiders practice facility right now. Literally just tweeted out 2 minutes ago. Video. Jacoby and Brock here for the early part of practice. No Max. Given the injury Sunday, no surprise. He's probably getting treatment or he's packing his bags. I don't know. We'll talk to Q Myers coming up at about 2:35 to get the latest on the Max Crosby rumors.
Boy, I tell you what, this just kind of came up out of nowhere. But, boy, you talk about it's something that would infuse this defense with a star pass rusher, not just a pass rusher, but a defensive guy that can actually stop the run. I think it would be fantastic. The question is, what would the Cowboys have to give up to get Max Crosby?
You know, in our comments section on the YouTube page, go to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. We might even come up with a fancy poll for this one.
I think we probably should.
And for all of you guys, remember Max has 2 X's in his name because he was a large baby when he was born. What is too much? What are you willing to give up? Now, Joe and I have been spitballing in the office for the last, hour and a half over what is too much. Could be a player.
Could be.
They could have Diggs.
I'm sure the Raiders would go for that. Why not?
Or Green Bay's number 1. Now, think about this. Now, we're talking about Jerry Jones, the general manager here. But if you were to give up that Green Bay first-round pick, one of them, and get Max Crosby in return, essentially you would have traded Micah Parsons for Max Crosby, a number 1 pick, and Kenny Clark.
It's a pretty good trade.
It almost seems un-Jerry-like. It's almost too that would be brilliant maneuvering if Jerry was to fall ass backwards into that deal. And that's what it would be, although you listen to Jerry, whether what he said Sunday, what he said today, playing things kind of close to the vest, but in reality, he's got picks. He's got some trade capital and picks. He's got cap space. He's got flexibility to pull off a move like this. And remember, when they made that move, he said, I've got some shiny objects I can play with here. Let's see what we can do. He wants to help this year's team, sure. He also wants to help the future. He's not gonna cripple everything, the future, for the right now. I don't think he would overpay for a Max Crosby, but if you're the Raiders, you're going to want a pick or 2 in return or a player or 2 in return.
I think if you're the Raiders, the picks are more valuable at this point in time, unless, let's throw this into the mix. What if the Raiders wanted George Pickens? in return for Max Crosby? Would you do it then?
I mean, they can ask for a George Pickens, and we'll settle on a Ryan Flournoy.
Yeah, okay.
You want a
sound
Jalen
like
Tolbert?
Spurs fans now. Well, we'll take LeBron James for, I don't know, that Minix kid. That's a good trade.
I mean, to a degree.
Come on, dude.
They can ask, but is that not a deal killer?
No, it is not a deal killer.
You would give up a George Pickens.
I would, because that is your problem, is the defense. Not to mention the fact that Pickens is here for just the rest of the year. You don't know what he's going to do after that. Max Crosby you've got for the next 2.5. Then you can decide what you want to do with him. Now, I would get rid of George Pickens if it brings Max Crosby in return.
And the one?
No.
Who sounded like a Spur fan?
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know if it would take one and a Pickens, maybe one or the other. It depends on what the Raiders covet and what they want.
And that's true. Two have to tango here. And what makes sense? What is a good trade scenario that makes sense for the Raiders that also makes sense for the Dallas Cowboys? Keep in mind, I mean, we all thought that Jerry could have gotten more for Micah Parsons if he had done that deal in March. And that's true. Raiders could probably get more for Max Crosby in the offseason than they can right now. I would be okay with Pickens being a part of that deal, although I'd be kicking and screaming. But if I'm the Raiders, I've got to make sure I'm getting a long-term commitment from George Pickens before a deal is done.
Well, you'd have to, right? Yes, you'd have to. And that's just the thing. And the Raiders can afford to make him a number one wide receiver, where the Cowboys cannot. Mm-hmm. And so it's not guaranteed that George Pickens is going to be here next year regardless.
This is true, but at the same time, if you're trying to help this year's team by adding a Max Crosby, do you want to hurt it by also losing a George Pickens? I mean, and again, to me, Pickens depends on what draft pick the Raiders want. If I'm the Raiders, I'd rather have a first-round pick than get a high-priced wide receiver. At this point, they would be shedding salary because they are obviously in a complete rebuild. And they're going to try to collect first-round picks. They're going to have a high one of their own, and you can have Green Bay's wherever that one is going to end up. I'm good with that. Throw in a fourth because Jerry loves those. Throw in a Jonathan Mingo because he's not doing the Cowboys any good. If you need to do something that works. All the people on our YouTube that is like, give them Diggs, Mozzie Smith, and Green Bay's one. Miguel, I'm here. But again, why would they want a Mozzie Smith?
Exactly.
Right? And I think that's fair. Sam Williams might be a little bit in the same boat, although there's some potential upside with the Sam Williams. But right now, I kind of feel like he's in the way of Ezeraku. So I don't want to get rid of a Sam Williams, but if I need to, if that's something that the Raiders are going to want, a pass rusher to replace a little bit of a pass rusher and Max Crosby, I'd be willing to have that kind of conversation.
Look, it's going to take something. They're not going to give Max Crosby away. So you got to come at it from that point of view. And I have a feeling teams like, I don't know, the New England Patriots perhaps, or I don't know, name another team that might need a pass rusher, the status of a Max Crosby. I think you're going to have some competition out there. So I think you're going to have to come with this realistically and decide, is that a deal breaker or not? You get a Max Crosby, you get a full defensive player, not only a passer. The guy's got 4 sacks already, and he's got an interception already this year. And the guy can tackle a running back too. And so, look, I think, to me, and we had this argument, and I'm willing to have it here on the deck, I think a Max Crosby, you're better than Micah Parsons at this point in time. Now, we can have that conversation, but I'm going to suggest Max Crosby's a better player overall than Micah Parsons.
I mean, they're in the same category. And we all know your love for Micah Parsons is skewed.
I'm just going by facts and what I've seen.
But, again, your vision's a little obscured. You're looking through a certain kind of glasses.
No, I'm looking towards just facts.
Just facts.
Max Crosby is an all-around defensive end. Micah Parsons is nothing but a pass rusher. That's it.
I mean,
it's true.
I mean, there's no argument there. But Micah Parsons, he's a game wrecker.
Well, so is Max Crosby.
I mean, look, they both have been able to claim the highest paid non-quarterback.
Sure,
right? They both have been able to claim that. Max Crosby is, 3-4 years older than Micah Parsons, too, which is a little bit of concern. One thing I do like about Max Crosby is for the majority of his career, he's been fairly injury-free. I know he had the ankle at the end of last year. Ankles happen, and he got hurt, was his knee and back in the Chiefs game, but nothing long-term. So I just look at all of this and think, all right, all of a sudden, the Cowboys win a game. Defense looks pretty good. They beat Washington. You feel like, all right, Jerry, are you going to go all in this year? I mean, you've been telling us for years you might go all in. Maybe this is the time. And you help this year's team because you look around the NFC and it looks gettable. You're watching the games last night. Detroit, my goodness, they look good. Tampa Bay all of a sudden did not, right? I mean,
that's the NFL.
It is the NFL,
it's
right?
The NFL, and Detroit's a lot better team at home than they are on the road. Let's face it. So I'm not too concerned about Tampa Bay. I still think they'll be there, although I do feel bad for Mike Evans. Broken collarbone. His season is over, and he's just a hell of a player, and I hate to see that for a guy like Mike Evans, for anybody for that matter. But Tampa Bay is going to be back. They're going to start getting healthy, and I think they're going to win their division, and they'll be a player. But when you're looking at Philadelphia, you got to keep up with them.
Yep.
I don't know if Washington's going to be a player when it's all said and done. They're going to try and get healthy. The Giants aren't a player. So if you're just looking at the NFC East, if you just keep pace and hang around with Philadelphia somehow, some way, and at the end of the day sneak that thing out, yeah, you just never know. And I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but there's a lot of smoke. Now, I don't know how much fire there is when it comes to Max Crosby, but there certainly is a lot of smoke. And you add a Max Crosby to this team, and I think that's a game changer.
Your definition of what is all in and mine might not be the same thing.
The idea, though, I mean, Max Crosby's big, sexy name. One player, does he make that much of a difference on this Cowboys team? And we could say that. How much different would this Cowboys defense be if Micah Parsons were still a part of it? They maybe instead of 32, they're 27, right? I mean, how much of a difference does a Max Crosby make? But there's also some other guys out there that are on the block that are also being linked to the Dallas Cowboys.
So it sounds like the Cowboys are looking around, and that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at this point in time, you look at this record, you got 2 games to play. Let's see how, and maybe a point of, do they win the next 2 games before they head to the trade deadline, which they play Arizona on November 3rd, and the trade deadline is November 4th. So it would be interesting if the Cowboys went up to Las Vegas and had Max Crosby on their side instead of on the Raiders' side.
And again, if a deal can get done, do we have to wait till the deadline? Do we have to see what happens in the next game?
No.
Do we have to see what happens 2 games from now?
Well, look, if you're Jerry Jones, you already think you're a Super Bowl contender. You do, right? If you're Stephen Jones, you think you're a Super Bowl contender.
Oh, you're hanging around the rim.
The problem has been the pass rush, has it not? If you can get a pass rusher, the caliber of a Max Crosby, then I think that helps a lot. Do you still have problems defensively? Absolutely. There's no question about it. So, yeah, you got to look at all of those things. Going to be interesting. Some of the other scenarios you mentioned, we're going to talk about those. Again, what do you guys think? That's what I want to know. Out there listening, if you're on a San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, chime in. Would you do a deal for Max Crosby if it cost you what? George Pickens, a first round, 2 firsts, a first and a third? What are some of your scenarios?
You play GM.
Realistic trade scenarios.
What fun is that, Joe?
Well, realistic trade scenarios.
Dad.
Okay, yeah, let's get that done. We're talking about, you can also chime in the old-fashioned way on the phone line, 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN, at Jason Minix. I'm at Joe Reinagle 210 on Twitter. All of those ways you can communicate with us. We're talking trades and the Dallas Cowboys when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And lots of football talk, obviously. The NBA season gets underway tonight. 2 games. Houston at OKC, Golden State at the Lakers. It's basketball time, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action where you can make your picks and win money right here in Texas. Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, the block parties, and playing on Underdog is easy. Love playing the pick'em game because you just choose whether you want your favorite players to go higher or lower on stats, points, rebounds, steals, assists. Get all your picks right. You could win up to 5,000 times your cash. So download the Underdog app. Use promo code STAR to score $100 in bonus funds or bonus entries when you play your first $5. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. The Cowboys are in Denver taking on the Broncos at Empower Field at Mile High. Pre-game at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the Davis Law Firm, Hornitos Tequila, Connecticut, and Jim Beam. You like that? How about them Cowboys? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
This college football season, the Crunch Time Hero of the Week is brought to you by PorkRinds.com, the nation's premier hub for pork rind lovers everywhere. Each week, a college player will post on Instagram, and each share over a 2-week period equals a $1 donation to the Archer Foundation, which helps families who are dealing with DIPG, DMG, pediatric brain cancer. Giving back with the perfect snack to celebrate those big Crunch Time plays. Find your rind at PorkRinds.com or find Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at HEB.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
And attention, Dallas Cowboy fans, Twin Peaks is giving away epic Cowboys jerseys all season long just for catching a game at one of the 4 San Antonio area locations. Get to Twin Peaks for every Cowboys game for your chance to win. Ask your Twin Peaks girl for more details.
George gets justice. In San Antonio, we look out for each other. So if someone's reckless driving puts you in the hospital, don't call some out-of-town lawyer. Call someone who actually lives here and will fight for what you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers. Because to George, you're a neighbor, and he's got your back. And remember, you only pay if they win. Call 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com. Principal Office, San Antonio.
The NBA season tips off, and so does DraftKings' newest fantasy game. DraftKings Pick 6 is the easiest way to play for big wins, with every possession giving you a shot at real money. Here's how to play. Just pick more or less on 2 or more stats and unlock the upside every game brings. The better your picks, the bigger your payout. Pick 6 is available in your state. Plus, new DraftKings customers can get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. Don't just watch basketball, cash in. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code KTFM. That's code KTFM. Play just $5, get $50 in Pick 6 bonus picks. Make the call. Ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a hump day on the morning huddle, and it's opening day for the San Antonio Spurs, Rob.
Game day balla. Let's do 26th season is on the way. Are we going to see an MVP caliber play tonight? Lots to talk about. Football around the corner and NBA. I'm so excited. Get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the morning huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right, we're back here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix. Before we get into the trade talk, I'm reading a tweet here that Troy Vincent, the executive vice president of the NFL, is telling owners that it might be time to revisit the 4th and 15 scenario instead of onside kicks. I'm all for that because who the hell recovers an onside kick these days?
It doesn't happen very often. And when you see that work in the spring league, going back to the Alliance, the UFL, the XFL, the US, all of them have a better option. And 4th and 15, again, percentages aren't very high that you're gonna convert it. But basically where you would recover the onside kick is where you line up for that 4th and 15 play. And some have added at 4th and 12 just because, I don't know, math. But at least you have an opportunity. And it's something, all these spring league rules that everybody laughed at, you see them one by one getting adopted to the NFL because it's better, and it's been tested.
Yes,
You've been able to test it, and it works.
Yes, and look, I'm all for it. I just saw that tweet, so I thought it was interesting enough to let you know, and we'll see. Obviously, nothing's going to happen until the owners get together in the offseason and vote and see what they want to do. But the onside kick's dead. I mean, now, because it's not even a surprise anymore. You have to tell the other team you're going to do it.
Yep.
I mean, so it's kind of useless. So I hope they do something to make that a little bit more exciting and give a team a chance. I mean, my goodness, that's what it's all about.
How much is a Max Crosby worth? 2 1s, 1-1, a 1 and a 4, a 1 and a Pickens, a 1 and a Tolbert, a 1 and a Mingo. I mean, it'd be interesting to see. Now, depending on who you listen to. And quite honestly, everybody has different sources. You know, Trey Wingo says talks between the Cowboys and Raiders. Their Wingo's tweet, according to sources, the Cowboys have made inquiries with the Raiders. See, some out of Dallas say there's talk in the building, but nobody's actually reached out to anybody. Who knows? Jerry, you just try to make sense of what he says. Like this morning on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. You know, after you beat Washington, does that create urgency to get a deal done?
Everybody thinks, boy, you're in the hunt. So it's time to go out and gather up all of this talent that's waiting around out here on the trees to add to it now that we feel good that we can be more competitive. That's not realistic. What's realistic is that if we do see an opportunity, we are in as good a shape as we've been in years with picks, with financial, with our cap. We're in as good a shape we've ever been if we see a way to improve our team with a player that makes sense today, this year, next year, to entertain it and look at it.
That tells you a little bit right there, even though it didn't tell you a lot. But a player that will help this year and next year, I think, says a lot. And that makes a Max Crosby attractive because he's already under contract.
So, in other words, not an expiring deal. He doesn't want a rental.
Exactly right. No rental for this year. He wants something that's going to be with the team at least for the rest of this year and next year, and then we'll see what happens. Crosby's under contract for the next 2.5 years. So, technically, you get him this year, you get him this year and 2 more.
Well, and in reality, you can get out of his deal in 2.5 years. He signed a long-term deal.
Right.
But
what was a 3-year deal, though? 3-year extension.
The fully guaranteed dollar parts, basically 2.5 years at $80 million. Now, Jerry, after the game Sunday, after the win, as people started talking about trades, in which, again, you've been around Jerry long enough, you've listened to him long enough, when he's non-committal, that means there's some smoke, which means there could be some fire.
Not at all. I feel just as inclined or not inclined, really, and I'm not trying to be any way.
Yeah, you are.
I don't have anything in front of me right now that I'm interested in. I haven't noodled up something that I might be interested in. You have to go within the boundaries of what's possible. You hear from other clubs as we get on into the trading deadline. We'll see if something there to help us. But I'm not going to holler in my pillow if we don't get a trade, because I feel good about the makeup of the personnel we got on the team right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to holler in my pillow.
Mm-hmm. You know.
Oh, my goodness.
He's got to noodle up a Max Crosby. Okay?
Sure.
That's negotiating in the media. I'm not going to overpay for a Max Crosby because you've heard Jerry a gazillion times say a lot of the things that he really values in life he is overpaid for. Right now, if the Raiders are asking for too much and whatever the initial phone calls were, and again, there's no problem asking. That's what a negotiation is for. And Jerry definitely can be staunch in, I'm not going to overpay, right? I'm not going to overpay. You know, Jerry gets in his mind what something is worth, and that's where it goes, period. He's not going to overpay for a Max Crosby. At least that's what he's telling you right now. And we don't have to wait for the trade deadline to get there. You know, this also, if you're the Raiders, you want stories like this out because other teams that might be interested in a Max Crosby is going to drive the price up of what the Raiders can get in return.
Well, just about every team, not every team, there are a lot of teams out there that would like to have a Max Crosby. And so he's going to be a bargaining chip for the Raiders to pick the best offer. But what I think the Cowboys are doing when you're talking about made inquiries, it's like you call the Raiders and say, what would it take? What's the asking price for a Max Crosby? And the Raiders may say something that is completely out of whack. They may say, well, we have no intention of trading Max Crosby. I mean, I don't know what they're telling the Cowboys or anybody else because I'm sure it's not the Cowboys are the only team inquiring about a Max Crosby. Raiders are not going anywhere this year. They need to get better. They need to draft a quarterback, and they need draft picks and young players if that's what they're asking for. So who's going to give them the most in that scenario? And that's what it's going to come down to.
When you look at Max Crosby's the biggest name out there. Charles Robinson from Yahoo says the Cowboys are looking for, quote, plus-sized talent. Not sure what that means, but on the level of Trey Hendrickson and
Fat
Jeffrey
guys.
Simmons, right?
Fat guys. Now, Jeffrey Simmons, he's with the Titans.
He's with the Titans.
He's a good player.
Well, I read this morning before I heard that the Bills were going to make an all-in kind of trade to get a Jeffrey Simmons.
Well, and they should. Now, he got a little bit dinged up last week, too. I don't think it was anything serious.
Hamstring.
But I think he's okay. I mean, if you're talking about plus size, that dude is plus size. He's huge.
He's 6'4", 302.
And, dude, Trey Hendrickson, let that go. I don't think that helps Dallas at all.
It doesn't fit what Jerry has said as far as helping this year and down the road.
You'd have to re-sign him, and there's no guarantee that you would do that or he would stay. And so I just think that Trey Hendrickson, and plus he's 31 years old. I mean, honestly, I just think that's a non-starter. If I'm Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, well, I'm not even looking at Trey Hendrickson.
I mean, if I can get Trey Hendrickson for a third or a fourth, which isn't realistic, and I know that as I say it, but you're not giving up one of Green Bay's ones, right? Or your one. I mean, the Cowboys do have 4 number 1 picks to play with over the next 2 years. So theirs or Green Bay's, now, depending on where they finish, you know, Green Bay's are going to be less valuable because they're going to be later in the draft. And that might be a sticking point. Maybe that's a negotiating point for Jerry. I'm keeping a George Pickens. I know I want to give you Green Bay's number 1 pick, but I'll give up mine if we're getting Max Crosby in return. It could be in who knows where that's going to be. It could be 8 spots different. It could be 2 spots. You never know when it's all said and done.
Well, and that's true because if the Cowboys, they obviously have hope of being a pretty decent team this year. They feel like a guy like a Max Crosby or a plus-size guy is the difference maker, then, well, they might have a pretty decent record, and that draft pick might not be all that great.
Our friend Q Myers from Raider Nation Radio in Las Vegas, he's at their facility now. He knows what the Raiders are going to want. We're speculating. Let's ask Q.
All right, let's ask him. We'll do that, in fact, when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to SASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Are you facing an unexpected financial emergency? You need WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com helps you get up to $5,000 fast. WeFixMoney.com is free to use, available 24/7, and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Go to the name you trust, WeFixMoney.com. If you need emergency cash, up to $5,000 for bills or anything else, type WeFixMoney.com directly in your browser. That's WeFixMoney.com.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hola, mi esposo se lastimó en un accidente ayer. ¿Me puede ayudar?
Claro que sí. Estamos aquí para servirle.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7. Our team of Texas attorneys has been helping people injured in car, truck, or 18-wheeler wrecks for more than 25 years. And there's no fee unless we win. Y hablamos español. If you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
NCE General Contractors, based in San Antonio, is one of the fastest growing nationwide general contractors with a focus on commercial new construction, design build projects, building renovations, tenant finish outs, site upgrades, and building maintenance. NCE President Brian Ehrlich's a former Madison quarterback and proud to support high school football in San Antonio, building relationships first and buildings that last. Learn more about NCE General Contractors online at ncegc.co. That's ncegc.co.
Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/sports. QUO.com/sports.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
Attention passengers, we've reached 10,000 feet and internet is now available for purchase.
I just paid hundreds for this flight, and you can't even throw in internet? I'll just take the free pretzels.
Sorry, but I do have snack boxes for sale.
I'm just gonna sleep.
In that case, we are selling pillows and blankets as well.
I'll just breathe. That's free, right?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Well, there's plenty of smoke, but is there any fire? That's what we're talking about when it comes to Max Crosby and the Las Vegas Raiders. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minnick.
So what would the Raiders want for a Max Crosby? We can speculate all day. Let's go out to Las Vegas and find out. Our friend Q Myers from Raider Nation Radio, and you hear him nationally on ESPN Radio, joining us now in the Buyers Barricades guest line. And look, Q, we know nothing happens in that building without your knowledge, including how many pieces of gum Pete Carroll chews in a day. So what does the Raiders want for a Max Crosby?
You know, it's so funny, and I knew that this conversation was going to happen, especially after the Raiders got blown out by the Chiefs and was embarrassed on a Sunday. I knew that this was going to happen, especially on their bye week. Look, I don't think that they want to move him at all, to be honest, just straight off the top. I don't think that they want to move him. They gave him that contract extension. They really want to build this team around him, and Pete Carroll has said that he wants to win a lot of games. Now, with that being said, they, as you know, are 2-5. They're not winning a lot of games, and who knows what direction that they're going in. So if they were to pick up the phone, which they'd be silly not to, and someone calls like Jerry Jones, I think it starts at 2 first-round picks. Now, I'm not saying that that's what it's going to take. That's what's going to actually be the move, but I think that's where you start in negotiations. As you know, you want to aim a little high and then see where you end up. But I think it has to start with the 2 first-round picks, and I don't remember the exact capital that they got for giving up Micah Parsons. I can't remember exactly what Green Bay gave up, but you're going to try to get as much as possible because obviously the Raiders need as much talent as possible on this team.
It was 2 first-round picks. Anna Kenny Clark is what
right.
Green Bay gave up for Micah Parsons. So you look at
I don't think they get that. I don't think they would get that, right? So I think I think Micah Parsons clearly is going to get more in return than Max Crosby would.
Well, you know, Q, what's interesting is the Cowboys, at least according to Trey Wingo, have inquired with the Raiders. Now, I don't know if that's just a thing, hey, what do you want for him? But I would assume if other teams feel like a Max Crosby might be available, there's going to be some competition here.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, like I said, it would be silly for the team not to at least listen to those calls because, again, they're in a situation where they have void of talent on this roster. So I think that a lot of calls are going to be made during this bye week leading up to the November 4th trade deadline. It's just who's going to be the most, intriguing offer if there is an offer made, and where does it benefit the Raiders the most? Like going to the Cowboys in the NFC would make more sense than going somewhere that's an AFC team, right? Somewhere in that they're going to have to face more often than not. They don't want to face Max Crosby. So, it's going to really be interesting. But the next 2 weeks, I've tried to warn Raider Nation, buckle up, because that's all you're going to hear is your star Max Crosby and all the headlines and rumors.
So are you saying that it's not smart to trade within the conference, like sending Micah Parsons to Green Bay? I digress. Q Myers joining us here on the Blitz from Raider Nation Radio. Out of curiosity, Max Crosby is from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, went to high school in Colleyville.
Yep.
I know he signed that deal, and he had every intention of staying there and rebuilding with Pete. It's awful there, right? That team has not been good. What has Max Crosby's demeanor been like? In other words, do you think he might be asking to get out? Could he be asking to go home?
I don't think he is, not at this stage of the game. Every time I see him at the facility, and it's funny, I'm literally at the facility right now. We're about to get into the locker room, but he didn't practice today. He's obviously getting
Zillow.
Treatment.
He's checking Zillow for houses in Frisco.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. But, no, I think he's getting treatment. I've seen his car in the parking lot, so I know he's here in the building. He didn't practice, so we're going to get in the locker room in a minute. But he's been upbeat, up-tempo, every time I see him, and just say what's up to him. He's always talking, and he's got a lot of love here for the Las Vegas area. He's got a bunch of Papa Johns that he owns, and he's obviously the face of the franchise. So I don't think that in any means he wants to leave, but if he ever gets to the point where he does want to leave, and this could be the opportunity because, again, it's a couple weeks away from the trade deadline, he could look at it and say, hey, I'm wasting my prime time here at an organization that's not going anywhere. So, I mean, it could end up becoming like a mutual thing, but I think that his heart truly is, if we're just being 100, I think that his heart truly is still here with the Raiders.
Now, that said, you mentioned he owns a bunch of Papa John's. You know who owns a bunch of Papa John's in the Dallas area? Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones.
I do.
Right? I mean, you know, a couple of trades in 3 franchise locations could get this. No, that would be illegal. But you know what I'm saying. I mean, you know, there's more dots to connect.
Hey, the LA Clippers can get it done. I mean, that way. So why couldn't the Cowboys?
I was thinking the same thing. Hey, man, if it works for the Clippers, why not work for the Cowboys? Probably even better for the Cowboys.
Q, what is Max Crosby's injury like? We're hearing it's not severe. Is it a game out, or do you expect him back once the Raiders get back?
Oh, I expect him back. He's just that guy, right? He's a warrior. He doesn't miss any games, and that's what you love about the guy. I mean, he went into the game on Sunday against Kansas City with a banged-up back and a banged-up knee, and then he took the block from Noah Gray right on the kneecap, so that didn't help him at all. But he's already had a little bit of a wrap around his knee, so he's kind of banged up already. And look, this is something that he suffered last year. He injured his ankle and ended up missing like the last 5-6 games. He ended up going on IR and having surgery. So I mean, he's starting to get a little bit older. He's starting to get banged up. It's football. I mean, you know how it is, and the dude never comes off the field. So you know, he's a little banged up. But I'll tell you what, man, if Max can go, he's going to go because that's just in his DNA. He doesn't miss any games. You love his spirit. You love his relentlessness. He doesn't want to take a play off, let alone a game off. So, yeah, I mean, that's part of just what you love about Max Crosby.
Which could also hurt some trade value as he's getting older and a little bit more banged up. Now, Q, in all seriousness, I mean, you could say they're going to start with 2-1s, but I don't think most of us being realistic, that's going to happen. You know,
Agreed.
One of those picks from Green Bay likely would be in play. If you're the Raiders, you're trying to get some picks to rebuild. If players are involved, and you know, there's people talking about what would it take a George Pickens. I you know, unless they're able to sign Pickens, why would they do that? But what position of need do you think the Raiders would focus on more? Because you could, you know, throw in a Diggs, you know, a wide receiver. I mean, where are some areas that the Raiders might look at if you're looking at a pick and some players or a player?
Yeah, I think Diggs would definitely be in play. I mean, Pete loves his cornerbacks, and that's a room that's real suspect right now for the Raiders. They have some guys, but they're not really dudes, right? Like the guys that Pete Carroll wants. Look, I could be talked into the George Pickens trade, but then, like you said, you'd have to extend him. But then I don't know if Dallas wants to hurt their offense because their offense is phenomenal, right? I mean, that's what's making this even really a realistic thing is that offense is so good. You just need some defensive help. So I don't know if you'd want to make that move, but they definitely need another weapon, especially since Brock Bowers has been down and now Jacoby Myers has been down as well. And there could end up being a trade for Jacoby could be on the way too, right? So there's a couple different things in play. I think that anyone, you know, maybe a defensive tackle, right? If there's an extra defensive tackle, but then they just made the trade for Kenny Clark, and that's what they were bringing in to stop the run and be that kind of, you know, disruptor. So I don't know if they would want to move on from him. So there's man, when you have a team that doesn't have a lot of talent on the roster, there's plenty of room. There's plenty of room to add a player. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense. So I definitely think one of the picks that Green Bay sends over is in play and some kind of player. I think Diggs would probably be at the top of the list. But as I see it, and I guess I'm checking what he's dealing with a concussion right now.
Yeah, an accident or something that happened at the house.
Somebody banged him over the head. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not buying that one. That's right. I knew that's like how the athlete always says, like, oh, my dog tripped me on my way down the stairs or something. Like, yeah, okay, sounds good, man. Something happened there. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's something to look at twice before they make that call.
You know, Q, I've got to ask you, has Pete Carroll talked today yet?
No, he talked yesterday.
Okay, so he won't talk today, but you're going into the locker room. I'm assuming that question is going to be asked. Will y'all talk with Max or I know?
Well, if he's there, we definitely will talk. But he hasn't been really available in the locker room the last few weeks. He's been kind of in and out and in treatment. And he's a podium guy. He's an after game guy for sure. We always get him after the game in the locker room, but a lot of times. He doesn't do it during the week for the locker room action. So
now I know we don't believe everything that we see on the internet. So I don't know if this is actually true or not, but I did see this on the internet. Somebody screenshotted that Max Crosby has started following on Instagram just about everybody on the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know if that's real or not, but is that a sign? Is he a big IG guy?
I saw that earlier, and it's funny. It's funny that you mentioned IG because I was like, I'm sure he was probably following those guys already. But the other day, and I mentioned this to him in the locker room, he did like an endorsement ad for a moving company, and they were in his house and they were moving all his stuff, and a bunch of Raider fans started hitting me up. I was like, hey, what does this mean? Is Max moving? What's he doing? Where's he going? So I said that to him in the locker room, and he said, man, I can't do anything. You know I can't. He's like, I don't even control that. And I was like, I bet. But I'm just letting you know, all that moving company stuff that you had out there, people are up in a frenzy now. And so now, obviously, with this report that's out, on top of that, and on top of the IG with the players in Dallas, I mean, you connect the dots, right? I mean, like you said at the top, right? Where there's smoke, there's fire at times. So we'll see.
Well, I tell you what, Max Crosby is a Raider through and through. And if this happens, I'd be shocked as anybody, but I'd
silver
like
and black to the blue and silver,
I'd
and he's
like to see
coming
him
home.
in a Cowboys uniform.
Absolutely.
It wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, look, I can see it. And the Raiders have made a lot of trades and a lot of transactions with the Cowboys. I mean, it's not like they don't, see eye to eye more times than not. These are two organizations that work well together, and they make business deals together. So, again, nothing would shock me at this stage of the game. Once Khalil Mack got traded, when I just knew up and down he was never going to get traded, nothing's off the table for me anymore.
Hugh Myers from Raider Nation Radio and weeknights on ESPN Radio nationally. I know locker room's about to open, Q. Appreciate you jumping in. If you hear anything good in that locker room, man, shoot me a text and let me know.
Will do. If I get something good recorded, I'll send that over to you, too.
Appreciate you, man. Good
Thanks.
stuff. Q Myers on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens, if anything happens, because deep down in my heart, and like I said, I think Max Crosby is a Raider through and through. I just think that's in his DNA. But it comes a point in time where, you make the money, but you want to win. And if you think you can go and help the Cowboys win, you see what their offense is doing, and if you can help that defense at all, then maybe you feel like you got a shot in Dallas.
Well, that's it. And I'm seeing, especially Claymore on the screenshot that's all over the internet about all the players that he's following. Micah Parsons is on there. I did see that. And Claymore saying he was probably already following all those guys. Now, you look at some of the players on there. Why the hell would Max Crosby be following, I don't know, Jalen Tolbert? Or, some of the guys. I mean, and isn't it, and I don't know how it all technically works, but you start following people and they're in order. The fact that they're all in order, it's like you just went and searched out all the Cowboy players and started following all at the same time, if that's true. And I don't even know if it's true, but it's certainly fun to throw in there. And you talk about it this way, like I'm not buying it 100%, but it is interesting.
Well, look, I mean, this is not coming from a random no-name. This is Trey Wingo.
Yeah.
He was a pretty credible guy, and so he's reporting that the Cowboys have inquired, so he must have a pretty good source that's telling him that. So the good news is, whether it's a Max Crosby or not, the Cowboys are looking, and they're kicking some tires, and they're trying to get better and trying to improve that defense. And so if you're a Cowboy fan, I think you've got to be excited about that, regardless of how it happens. But just don't get cheap on me, Minix, all right? We'll give him a fifth, and we'll throw in Flournoy. I mean, come on, dude.
What?
How many times have you hammered Spurs fans for that?
Well, I'm not saying that. I mean, nobody said that. A one, it's going to take at least a first round pick. It's going to take a one,
yes.
Right? I know that. What players do you want, and what players are expendable for Dallas? When you look, because the Raiders love wide receivers and they love defensive backs. You listen to Jerry talking about, hell, they didn't even miss Diggs on Sunday after he got hurt at the house.
Diggs is gone either way.
I mean,
he's gone.
Did you hear? This was Jerry this morning on 105.3 The Fan. If he was buying the Diggs explanation about what happened at the house.
Yes. And I am, and there's no reason to dwell on any more here, and so it's what it is. And consequently, what we did see is we played pretty well out there, and I don't know the status of Diggs as we move forward, but I feel better about being able to play if we don't have him out there.
which basically tells me goodbye, Trayvon Diggs. You will not be a Cowboy next year.
And I don't know if this is true or not, but Sam I Am from Jack FM was in the office earlier saying, do you see Diggs put his house up for sale in Dallas?
Oh, wow.
And then now we just heard, Max Crosby was doing moving company commercials.
There you go. I mean, you read into that what you want, but that's the way that it is. I think this is exciting, and again, if you're a Cowboy fan, and I certainly like covering the Cowboys. I've done it for about 30 years now, and so, yeah, I would like to see them improve. I'd like to see them get better, and the fact that they are kicking some tires on some players is encouraging, and I think you have to be encouraged.
Well, again, trade deadline is a couple of weeks away. The defense looked good, quite frankly, against Washington. And a couple of things that you could take from that. One, Washington was going with a bunch of practice squad receivers.
They were.
But their quarterback, their running back, their offensive line was still there. And they were able to get to the quarterback. They were able to stop the run. There were some differences in what we saw defensively. And I don't know, listening to Jerry, credit Brian Schottenheimer for the defensive adjustments.
Well, I think both of those answers could be together. There is more room to go. And, yes, I think it's one of the you could also say by degree, how exciting is it? It's very exciting. What I'm real excited about also is that that's exactly what we thought that Brian would bring to the table as we looked forward to this year, when Brian was just thinking, or we were just thinking, of his role as offensive coordinator and calling the plays. And the kinds of things that he wanted to do that would help Dak, help us be more productive offense, you're seeing that. Now, that is a great feeling to see that come to pass. Now, what is amazing is that this first-year coach, Brian Schottenheimer, also not only called the plays, but oversaw the putting in with some great help that he's got with his offensive coordinators. But he not only called the plays, but he also spent part of the week in that defensive side of the ball going over ways that could improve and talking not only with coaches and players. To me, last week was about as good a coaching job as I've been around, and I don't know when.
Wow, that's high praise for O'Shotty, isn't it? But he's basically telling you that he either told Shotty he's got to talk to Eberflus and they got to fix this defense, or maybe we need to get rid of Eberflus, and that could be the case. The stat, 46%, 48% of the defense was man coverage last week.
Now, a lot easier to go man against whatever receivers Washington rolled out there, right? I don't know if they would have been able to do that if Deebo Samuel was there, if Terry McLaurin was there, and maybe that's why. But also when I hear that from Jerry, and I think that's also Jerry patting himself on the back for making a big right hire in his mind when he knew that was one of the biggest risks he was taking when it comes to naming a head coach, since he's the first-time head coach. So that was Jerry self-complimenting himself. Don't lose sight of that. But also something that Mike McCarthy often talked about, now generally during the bye week, when they would self-scout, when they would have the offensive coaches go with the defensive coaches and vice versa, where if I know we're playing Dallas, this is what I would do. And I'm wondering how much Schottenheimer said from an offensive coach, I see you're doing this, I'm going to do this. This is how you would combat that. And he is the head coach. I'm glad to know that he knows where the defensive side of the building is, because that's not always the case when all right, you're in charge of the offense and somebody else is in charge of the defense. But there was a noticeable difference, and you saw the effort that those guys had, because a lot of the success, quite frankly, was effort that you didn't see in that Carolina game.
Maybe it was just opportunity as well. I mean, just doing some things different, taking some chances and getting to the quarterback and putting some pressure on Jaden Daniels, and that's what they did. And I think that's the whole thing. I mean, the first, 6 games we're just going to sit back and try and cover these guys.
Yep.
Well, when the quarterback can sit in the pocket for, 5-6 seconds, I don't care how good a coverage you have. They're going to find an open receiver. You've got to put some pressure on those guys. And I will be shocked. I'll be shocked if they don't play at least as much man against the Denver Broncos this Sunday as they did against Washington. I don't care who the receivers are. I think it worked, and I think you've got to go back to it. You can't go back to just sitting back in the zone and let Bo Nix pick you apart. You can't do it.
I mean, see the end of the game where the Giants rushed 3 and dropped everybody in the umbrella, and that cost them a game. And a big part of that play, man, bring pressure.
Absolutely.
And what did pressure do? Got you a pick 6, got you a forced fumble, add in a Max Crosby next to Jadeveon Clowney as a Raku. Now all of a sudden, maybe there's something there. Maybe there is something there.
There could be something there, and I think it's just maybe it's a breath of fresh air for those defensive players, saying, okay, we can do this instead of just sitting back and letting the offenses of the opponents come to us. We're going to go to them and apply some pressure. And I think Eberflus did a terrible job the first 6 games, and I'm glad to see that Shoddy stepped in and did something, whether it was Shoddy's idea or Jerry's or all of the above. But Eberflus has got to play that, and Shoddy's the guy that's going to get fired at the end of the day.
Wow.
So, you're going to
Eberflus.
Well, you're going to get – he's got to do something, and I'm glad to see that he did. That is outstanding. Let me ask you a question, Minix. The Cowboys still America's team?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Does everybody agree with that?
Absolutely not.
Well, then why is ESPN is going out trying to find the new America's team?
They're not trying to find the new America's team. They're trying to validate what everybody already knows.
I don't know about that. We'll discuss that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap Good RX, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not...
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Boo! I'm your old cheap water softener. Trick or treat, I got news for you. I'm not working again. Some days I just don't feel like it.
Just imagine what the inside of your home's pipes look like with all that hard water. Now that's scary.
Oh yeah, my bad.
I'm Jason at Connecticut Quality Water Softeners of San Antonio and the Hill Country. Don't let your old sporadic water softener ruin your house. Get a Connecticut. A Connecticut system can actually lengthen the life of your appliances, protect your pipes from buildup, and gives you soft skin and silky smooth hair.
Oh, don't listen to him. Stick with me, your old junky water softener. I'm lazy, but cute.
There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Connecticut is the last water softener you ever own. Call us at 210-656-PURE. And right now, we'll give you a free reverse osmosis drinking station right at your kitchen sink.
Ooh, I'm tired. I need to take another break.
ConnecticutSA.com.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Joel, don't you just love Halloween?
It's okay, but I do like your troll costume.
I'm not wearing a costume.
Folks, if your home's AC starts making those witching sounds or the pipes in your walls start moaning and clanging like ghosts having a party, call Quarter Moon at 651-5899 and we'll send our team of highly trained
Ghostbusters!
I was gonna say technicians.
I ain't afraid of no clogs.
Quarter Moon Plumbing and AC, 651-5899. License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Dallas Cowboys making headlines today. Former ESPN anchor Trey Wingo is reporting the franchise is inquiring about Raiders defensive end Max Crosby. Crosby is under contract beyond this season. He signed a 3-year, $106 million extension earlier this year. NFL trade deadline is November 4th. Houston Texans wide receiver Nico Collins' status for Week 8 is uncertain. He left Monday's loss in Seattle with a concussion.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmyloteam.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It's a great day. Great Tuesday. Hope you're having a good one as well. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix, and we appreciate you guys stopping by to see us. You know why it's a great day? I voted today.
I was going to
See
say
that? I voted. I got the sticker to prove it.
See your sticker. You posted on social media.
I did.
So that does make it official. I voted yesterday. I put my sticker right here on my laptop. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. Go vote. And, speaking of the Spurs in Prop A and Prop B, I hope our mayor saw what the Spurs did today. The old Spurs practice facility.
Yeah.
They're apparently donating it to the city to become a community center.
How about that?
And that's sweet.
That what it really is.
Nice
facility.
Building, absolutely. Donating it.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I hadn't heard that. I'm glad to hear that, and that needs to get out. And I'm glad you said something.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Yeah, it's a great place. Spent a lot of time there.
Yes, Pledge, the one in the medical center. It's the only old practice facility they have left. I mean, they can't donate the old Gym and Incarnate Word from way back in the day.
I remember those days too, my friend. Yes, that's for sure. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, good for the Spurs doing that. And look, I hope people go out. It's funny because the place where I went to vote today, I felt like a junior, like a kid, because there were a bunch of old folks there. And I mean, really old folks. And God bless them. I'm nothing against the old folks.
What time were you there?
And I don't know how they voted. It was 11:30.
But you have assumptions.
Well, I mean, no, I could see the gray hair. I mean, it's yeah. And one guy just saw he didn't flip me off, but he wanted to.
Well, it's because you stole his parking spot.
I didn't steal anybody's parking spot. Where I was, there's like a round driveway,
roundabout,
right?
Yeah.
So I'm leaving. I already voted, leaving, feeling pretty good about voting. Come around. This dude's trying to get into a parking spot, and all he had to do was wait for me. But he acted like I'm an imposition to him.
Well, he thought you were going to steal a spot.
Well, I didn't, though.
No, but he didn't know that. He was making sure you didn't steal his spot. He saw it first.
It doesn't matter. I already passed him. He knew I wasn't going to steal his spot. He still gives me the, hey. I'm like, dude, what the hell? Take it easy.
I mean, in your neighborhood, man, he was probably looking for valet parking and thought you were the guy.
Well, maybe. Who knows? I was in my car, though, so it's kind of would be hard to do that.
I mean, you should have been nice. Got out of your car and parked his.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. I thought he was going to kick my ass. The old dude. the hell?
Try to shove it up their ass.
Yeah, man, it was weird. But
Gilbert says on our YouTube, I for sure was the youngest person in my voting center yesterday.
And I'm not trying to pigeonhole anybody, but I don't know if that's good or not. I mean, seriously, because the older the voting people that are out there, is that good or bad for Prop A and B?
I don't know. I saw somebody on our YouTube earlier say that the early voting yesterday was about 10,000.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
I don't know if that's accurate or not. I didn't check. But at least they're voting. And, again, that's more the reason why, for those that want Prop A and Prop B, want to secure the Spurs for, at the very least, the next 30 years, if not beyond, then you got to get out and vote. You can't take this one lightly. You can't just assume, because we're all assuming old people vote no, right? You say pigeonhole. There's enough research that suggests that, and again, they're not going to be around in the next 30 years and might not even be around to see the construction of this thing, right?
Well, that's very true.
So, and you hate to say that, but that's dealing in reality. The older the voter, they generally don't want any kind of change. And because it says right there on the ballot, by law, this is a tax increase, this is why you have to be informed. It's one minimal, but it technically is an increase on the hotel occupancy tax. It's not a major increase. It's not big, and it only affects those that are renting hotels. So not you. And that's where you have to be informed going through this.
Well, and I'm pretty sure, although I don't know, boom, chicka, wow, wow. These old folks may go downtown every weekend and try to get road wins. You don't know. I mean, there's a lot of medical stuff out there that helps with older folks.
Only you, Ryan Eagle.
I'm just saying.
Only you.
Just saying. This guy was feisty. He needed to have a little something.
Really?
Well, maybe he was tense.
Lost some steam.
He needs to. Yeah, he needs maybe a little action.
Let's do the headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
All right, Ryan Eagle, you non-Cowboy fan who has more Cowboy shirts than Tennessee Titans shirts in the closet. History lesson. NFL Films dubbed the Cowboys America's team.
They did.
NFL Films did that. Not Tex Schramm, not Tom Landry. They were America's team long before Jerry Jones was the owner.
Yeah.
And they were dubbed America's team because no matter where the Cowboys went, there were Cowboy fans. Roger Staubach. You think about those legends. And quite frankly, Tex Schramm. Tex Schramm, back in the day, let's have training camp in California. There's a whole lot of space over here. Why do we have to have radio just in Dallas? When you build the Cowboy radio network that went to New Mexico and then to Arizona where there were no teams. I want to own the Southwest region, not just Dallas-Fort Worth. And he built that and built the following. And in 1978, NFL Films dubbed the Cowboys America's team.
And the Cowboys have since trademarked that term.
Well, of course.
Well, but I'm wondering if that's the case, they own the term. How is Disney or ESPN allowed to have a show, because that's what they're going to call it, America's team?
Well, they can't print a T-shirt or a hat.
No, but they can use it in saying that we have a show called that. I would think that the Cowboys would have to sign off on that.
I mean, there's a small fee. But ESPN
and
is
perhaps
as our country celebrates our 250th anniversary, they're going to do, and ESPN does this a lot. You saw the 50 state stories this year for 50 straight days. So they're going to go look at every team and determine America's team.
I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but it is going to be a new segment on SportsCenter called America's Team, designed to find out which team embodies the United States. Dallas Cowboy fans will be on the edge of their seats.
No, we won't.
It says that right
there. We can say that all at once.
Says that right there.
Edge of your seat, I don't give a damn what they say.
Just saying.
I mean, the Chiefs can claim it today. They're Taylor's team.
And they may be America's team now.
I mean, the current America, it's not like the Commander-in-Chief's trophy where you go earn it on the field every year and you get to have it for a year. There's not like a championship wrestling belt that gets awarded at the ESPYs every year.
Yeah, but that would piss Jerry off if somebody else was termed or deemed America's team.
I mean, this year is America's team.
I'm just saying.
I mean, but again.
You know they'd piss Jerry off.
I don't think Jerry gives a damn.
He gives a damn.
You know what Jerry says? Hey, Forbes, pull up the list. Who's number one?
Jerry gives a damn. I promise you he does.
There's a lot of billions in between 1 and 2. I win.
Well, he does win. I mean, there's no question, but it's semantics with Jerry.
It is, but again, it's not like it's a revolving trophy.
We'll see what happens.
I mean, right now, the Dodgers, they're going to win another World Series.
You think so?
I mean,
Toronto might have something to say about that.
I know. Who do I root for, Canada or the Dodgers?
Wow. I think Canada.
I mean, like all of America is going to be rooting for Canada.
Yes.
Although my family group chat got awful quiet, and all I wanted to do is, why in the hell are you pitching to George Springer with first base open? I mean, why would you do that to George Springer, right? I mean, you're up 2-0 in the series, and you blow it in Game 7.
That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So Toronto's on their way, but they begin that series in Toronto. So happens on Friday, by the way.
Does it matter?
I think it does.
I mean, Seattle and Toronto are playing for the right to lose to Shohei.
Wow, there may have to be a beer bet involved here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take yay Canada. A. I'll take them.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
be stealing my Lucky Charms.
Do you ever eat pizza with a fork?
No.
Well, who does that?
Well, actually, let me take that back. Yes. In Chicago, with deep dish pizza, which is basically lasagna, I tried eating that as a slice and ended up getting a fork. But no, you who eats boneless wings with a fork, you don't eat wings with a fork, and you don't eat pizza with a fork.
Well, they're not technically wings; they're chicken nuggets.
Whatever.
So I mean, let's make that. I don't know why they call them boneless wings, because they're chicken nuggets.
The menu calls them boneless wings, my friend.
Well, that's what they call them, but that's not what they are. They're little.
I mean.
So you pick up boneless wings and eat them like that with your hands?
I don't order boneless wings.
I'm just saying. I eat those, but I don't eat pizza with a fork. I mean, who does that? Just another thing to hate about LeBron James.
Oh, this is what you're doing. Now, in defense, Mike Greenberg often talks about eating pizza with a fork and knife. In fact, if I remember things that Mike used to say when he had a radio show, he doesn't eat anything with his hands. Everything is with a fork and knife.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
That's one guy.
Well, and LeBron. So are you going to hate on Greeny the way you're going to hate on LeBron, or is it because it's LeBron and it gives you another reason to hate on him?
Well, Greeny's not such a dork like LeBron is so often.
Have you listened to Greeny? He is a dork.
You know what I'm talking about.
Not really.
All right, well, it doesn't matter. LeBron posted a picture of himself eating pizza with a fork, and he's getting hammered for it.
Now,
how many people eat pizza with a fork?
Nobody. I don't know. If I was a billionaire, I might have a fork for everything, too.
I'm not going to have a fork.
But did you see that pizza? Who's putting whatever that is on his pizza?
Well, that's, again, it begs the question, who the hell eats Chicago-style pizza? It's terrible.
Well, when you're in Chicago, you order Chicago-style pizza.
I'm ordering something else in Chicago. That pizza's terrible. It's awful.
Again, when you're there and you're with the group, you do that. Now, in Chicago, their thin pizza, very, very good. But you asked, have I ever? Yes, I have, in Chicago-style pizza. But, hell, that leafy pizza LeBron had looked like the groundskeeper just, used a blower outside and threw the toppings on the pizzas. It looked awful.
Yeah, where Russell Westbrook in a book is ripping LeBron?
Oh, yeah. I can't even say what he said, but fake ass beep. Mm-hmm.
Craziness.
Fred Villarreal wants to know if you put ketchup on your pizza.
I do not, Fred.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Just checking.
No, just chicken fried steak with gravy. It's delicious.
And you're going to hammer LeBron for a fork.
I am, yes. I am. You got $20 million laying around?
No.
Well, if you do, you could buy Tony Parker's house. It's up for sale.
House has been for sale forever.
Well, I don't know. I just saw an article today.
It's been on the market, off the market, on the market, off the market.
Well, it's back on, apparently. $20 million. Have you seen that house? It's got a water park in the backyard.
Well, Eva designed that to be like the grotto.
Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that the Playboy Mansion doesn't have a water park.
Well, no. But again, Tony Parker should put in the listing, Eva's had sex in this pool right here. That should add to the value.
I'm not sure. Now, if Eva wants to come back and you have sex with her, maybe that's worth the $20 million.
She's not getting a cut of it anymore. That ain't going to happen.
She might.
Uh-huh.
She might.
A house, incredible house.
That's unbelievable.
Pictures look crazy.
53 acres that thing's on, and the house is huge, but it's just kind of strange to see that. You see the pictures because it is like on a home. Or there was an article done recently with Homes.com or Homes Incorporated or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
But so that's what they're doing. $20 million. You think if you went in there and said, "Hey, Tony, I'll give you $19.5, will you take that?"
Wait, $19.5, he might.
I'm just saying.
$800,000, he'd probably tell you, go jump in the pool without water.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure.
Although, even if you were to just get the house somehow, like, Tony, man, just let me I don't know that I could afford the taxes on that thing.
No, there's no way. Absolutely not. No, and then you'd have to clean the damn thing, and you probably would never see all of it. It'd take you 2 weeks to walk and see every room in that place.
Those are called rich people problems.
That's exactly right. I wonder if Tony's ever seen every room in that house.
Oh, I'm sure he has.
I don't know.
You got to baptize the house like that.
The only good thing is if you have kids or guests, you can put them at the other end of the house, and you never have to see them. It'll take you 3 days to meet in the middle. Hey, come to the kitchen for breakfast. All right, I'll be there in 24 hours. We'll get started now.
The house has mass transit.
Exactly right. One of those walking elevators, or there was in airports.
Light rail.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the walking, the moving sidewalks.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Big news today is there's a lot of smoke involving the Dallas Cowboys and the Las Vegas Raiders and some dude named Max Crosby. You think it's real? You think it'll happen? Well, we're talking about. By the way, Indy Kalu joins us at the bottom of the hour.
Yeah.
He's going to be a perfect guy to ask about this. Don't you think? Although it has nothing to do with the crappy Houston Texans.
No, I'm sure we'll talk more trade with Cowboys talk than the Texans last night.
What a disaster that was. What a disaster that was. Maybe we'll talk about that, too, on the other side.
Yeah.
Either way, it was horrible. We'll continue here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, you need your logo on any kind of gear, get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. If you need your logo on a nice golf shirt, a fishing shirt, a dress shirt, go see Sammy's. Got all the big name brands, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Under Armour, Port Authority, to name a few. In fact, he now has a full line of Tommy Bahama. So if you want your logo on a nice Tommy Bahama golf shirt, quarter zip, a jacket, go see Sam. Incredible pricing on the Tommy Bahama, and that does include your logo. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from. If you need T-shirts, screen printed, go see Sam. If you need caps, man, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom. And he's got all the popular cap brands like the Katie Caps, Nike Cap America, Richardson 112 style trucker caps in stock, just waiting for your logo. Nobody has better prices. Sam is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too big, no order too small. You need one item, a dozen items, 10,000 items. Call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro, a mile inside Loop 410 right there across from the McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and AARP Texas are sending Cowboy fans to Jerry World to see America's team play all season long. How do you get in on the action? Head to SASportsStar.com now and register to win. SASportsStar.com. Live it up with the boys in the Big D from AARP Texas and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
Attention passengers, we've reached 10,000 feet and internet is now available for purchase.
I just paid hundreds for this flight, and you can't even throw in internet? I'll just take the free pretzels.
Sorry, but I do have snack boxes for sale.
I'm just gonna sleep.
In that case, we are selling pillows and blankets as well.
I'll just breathe. That's free, right?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying... just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Davis Law Firm secures important verdicts and settlements for Texans hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck. Many in the millions of dollars. No case is too big or too small. And remember, there's no fee unless we win. So if you want more, call the Fours. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio, 444-4444.
Let's go! You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
We love high school football and a team you can always count on. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quartermoon is here to tackle the toughest challenges, from plumbing mishaps to AC troubles, with the same dedication and passion that drives a winning touchdown. Our playbook is simple: fair prices, expert service, and a commitment to local families. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, your winning solution for a comfortable home. Proudly serving our community with local hospitality. From the penthouse to the outhouse to the schoolhouse, call Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TSAOG 141074E M16004.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer goes one-on-one and has some fun with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
All right, here's the part of the interview where we've got to be jerks and ask you about the defense.
Yep.
Can
we get that out of the way early next week? After we talk about Travis Kelce's.
We talk about the important stuff first. We like to lube you up and put you in a good mood.
Brian Schottenheimer's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game, Friday mornings, presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
I'm AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6. Your early morning wake-up call on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
A lot of smoke going on out there when it comes to trade rumors about the Dallas Cowboys and the Las Vegas Raiders involving one Max Crosby, but he's not the only name being mentioned. There are others as well. So it appears that Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, well, they're realizing they might want to do something with that defense if they want any hope at all of making the playoffs and beyond.
Now, as typical when you're hearing a lot of different trade rumors, you get respected reporters that will say, like Trey Wingo. Trey Wingo, according to sources, Cowboys have made inquiries with the Raiders about a potential trade for Max Crosby. All right. Trey Wingo's been doing this a long time. Very, very well connected, right? Then you get Charles Robinson from Yahoo, who is reporting that the Cowboys are looking for plus-sized talent on the level of Trey Hendrickson and Jeffrey Simmons. Okay.
Candy Lee.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's certainly there. Then you get somebody like a Clarence Hill who could tweet out that, you know, there's been talk, but no inquiries have been made. So what does that mean? Jerry hasn't specifically gotten on the phone, but have they talked about it in the building? You got to believe there's interest because Jerry, in his interviews, is playing it somewhat close to the vest. After the game on Sunday, get a big win. He didn't want to say one way or the other if he's thinking about a trade.
Not at all. I feel just as inclined or not inclined, really, and I'm not trying to be any way.
Yeah, you are.
I don't have anything in front of me right now that I'm interested in. I haven't noodled up something that I might be interested in. You have to go within the boundaries of what's possible. You hear from other clubs as we get on into the trading deadline. We'll see if something there to help us. But I'm not going to holler in my pillow if we don't get a trade because I feel good about the makeup of the personnel we got on the team right now.
We like our guys.
Yeah, we like them. We like them. Look, he's looking. There wouldn't a guy like Wingo, although Brian Broaddus tweeted out here that he thinks that Wingo is somehow conspiring with the Raiders and sending it out on their point of view. And why would he do that?
Well, I mean,
do you get paid by the Raiders?
No, but sources. I mean, it could be something that the Raiders have let him know. I mean, you know, you hear something, they hear something. You know, you get the Cowboys involved. It's going to generate more headlines than, let's say, they were talking to the Patriots, right, or the Bills. Talked to Q Myers earlier, who covers the Raiders, and he's, you know, they would more than likely like to trade Max Crosby to an NFC team than an AFC team. It drives the price up when the Cowboys are involved. Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan, you know, when asked about the potential of a trade this morning.
Well, I don't, when you say see the potential, I assume you're asking what degree of potential.
Yeah.
And candidly, I don't necessarily see
Plus
a
size.
high degree there, but I don't want to preclude it from happening. We should be constantly, and believe you me, we are, all the time looking, communicating with possibilities to get better with our roster or to address soft spots in the roster. What you really need to ask the question is, did the win Sunday cause us to think more that we're more likely to trade or get a trade today than if we'd lost? Isn't that a good way to catch that question?
Yep. So what's the answer?
No. The answer is no.
So,
no.
When you
Win
have
Sunday didn't affect that.
All right, so the win Sunday didn't affect that. How about a win against Denver this Sunday? Would that affect that? And another one against Arizona the week after that. Would that affect that? I mean, you got to start, or would it not? Would winning those games, Jerry could say, we don't have to do anything. We're winning. So I think the next two games are going to be somewhat important as to what they do moving forward.
Again, winning in October, knowing that the trade deadline is on November 4th, are they going to be winning in January when it matters? You know, Jerry needs to win in October to be hanging around the rim in January. Is this team good enough to be a competitive playoff team?
Offensively, yes.
Offensively, yes. Defensively, you just sort of say, are there holes? Is there soft spots? What are they lacking? What can make them better? You know, when he decided to trade Micah Parsons, he talked about utilizing that capital, the money saved and the picks that they received in an effort for now and in the future. So the idea of a Trey Hendrickson, not under contract beyond this year, unless he becomes really, really cheap as far as what they have to give up, which isn't likely, I don't see that being a factor. A Max Crosby, who is from Dallas. Remember, he went to high school in Dallas. Could he want to come home? Raiders and the Cowboys have done a lot of deals through the years. The tea leaves just line up better for Max Crosby, and financially they can afford to bring him in. And what would they have to give up? Think about this. If they give up one number one pick, one of those picks they got from Green Bay, or hell, even theirs, because they've got 2 first-round picks in the next 2 years, you could essentially say you traded Micah Parsons for Max Crosby, got a first-round pick, and a Kenny Clark.
It would be a hell of a trade. Yeah, would Jerry get credit for that? I don't know.
Well, when it's all said and done, it doesn't matter. I mean, that would work out in ways that nobody thought it would work out when the Cowboys did that deal. What's the one thing we said when they traded Micah? Great, you got those picks. What are you going to do with them? Because that's how you're ultimately going to be judged.
And if you get a Max Crosby, that's going to be pretty much better than anybody you get in the draft. At that, most likely. I mean, it's a crapshoot, and you could get lucky. But I'm just saying, if you got a proven guy and spending a number one pick, I think would be well worth it if that's what the Cowboys are going to do. Not to mention the fact you got it for 2 more years after this season to see, you know, he's going to be a part of your team. He's not just a one-year rental like a Trey Hendrickson would be. I don't think Trey Hendrickson is right now, at least for Cincinnati. They have to believe they still have a shot at winning that division.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to. I would think so. It's a horrible division. I'm not sold on Pittsburgh, although they're in the driver's seat right now. If you're even Baltimore or Cleveland, you got to believe you got a shot at winning that division, for goodness sake. So Cleveland might not be, or Cincinnati might not be a player at all in this thing. But, boy, Max Crosby to Dallas, I'd be a believer. Certainly more so than I am now, that's for sure. Indy Kalu, what does he think? He's a defensive guy. How much difference would a Max Crosby in Dallas make? And, boy, do you even want to relive the nightmare that was Monday Night Football last night with the Houston Texans?
Do you think he stayed up till the very end?
My good. Well, I hope not. I hope he didn't. Or he had nightmares instead of the other kind of dreams. That's for sure. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, injuries do happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
Dallas Cowboys fans, come on down!
It's AJ and Rob from the Morning Huddle, and you could be the next contestant on
The Stat Is Right.
Every week leading up to the week of the Cowboys home game, AJ and Rob toss out a Cowboys player and a stat from the upcoming home game. Passing yards, rushing yards, number of times Dak adjusts his wristband mid-play, or perhaps CeeDee Lamb mouthguard chews per quarter. Whatever. All you have to do is predict that stat, get the closest, and bam! You're headed to Jerry World with a pair of tickets to the next Cowboys home game. Think of it like The Price is Right, but instead of winning a blender, you get to scream, "How about them Cowboys?" inside AT&T Stadium. So study up, Cowboy Nation, and listen to the Morning Huddle to play. The Stat Is Right, only on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
The Halloween parties at the Roo Pub have become legendary. Plan now for the biggest and best Halloween party in San Antonio, Friday, October 31st. Kick off the party weekend at the 12th annual Halloween party with DJs inside the Roo Pub and Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. No cover charge and a $1,000 costume contest at midnight. This is the Halloween party you don't want to miss. Friday, October 31st, the Halloween party of the year. We'll see you at the Roo and wear a costume.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidda Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidda helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidda 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/sports. QUO.com/sports.
My name is Jessica. Years ago, I was diagnosed with a thyroid condition. I slept all the time, was fatigued, had no energy, and a bad attitude. Now I've lost 50 pounds and I'm still losing. My medications have been scaled back. My emotions are stable and I have lots of energy. People at work say I'm happy, perky, and my husband says he's not walking on eggshells around me any longer. The Institute for Functional Health changed my life.
Call for your complimentary consultation, 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. The Cowboys are in Denver taking on the Broncos at Empower Field at Mile High. Pre-game at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the Davis Law Firm, Hornitos Tequila, Connecticut, and Jim Beam.
You like that? How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Stayed up late for that Houston Texans-Seattle game last night. You probably had nightmares all night long after. It was just an ugly performance by the Houston offense, that's for sure. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix.
So you're saying you'd be tired and grumpy?
Tired and grumpy would be I would expect that, yes.
Indy Kalu on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Are you tired and grumpy, or did you go to bed early?
Oh, no. I definitely stayed up for that entire debacle. Never grumpy. I'm always happy during football season, but no, that was definitely a shot of reality, because as much as I tried to sit up here and convince y'all that beating the Baltimore Ravens was a big deal, beating the Tennessee Titans was a big deal because they're NFL teams, unfortunately, when they played a good NFL team in Seattle, I don't even think the score really was a true indication of that was a butt whipping by Seattle. Then Seattle just got a little bit ugly or messy towards the end of the game.
Well, it's not only that, Indy. I mean, Seattle has 4 turnovers, and I mean that game. It could have been 37-6, but it was all said and done. Yeah, I'm looking at that, and look, the defense righted its way. I mean, they gave up 14 early and played pretty decent after that. But that offense, man, I tell you, I'm watching the game, and I'm like, I can't figure out what they can do to make that thing run better.
You know what? They regressed, and again, we were riding high after the Baltimore game, after Tennessee. But I think, unfortunately, what we saw yesterday with this offense is a little bit more true to what they are and who they are, especially when you talk about the line of scrimmage. I mean, they got beat down in the trenches. That offensive line, I was somewhat optimistic when they let Laramie Tunsil go, or they traded him away, I should say, in the offseason. And then they signed a bunch of guys that you hoped, would play well. But it just goes to show, when you're building a team, when you're adding players in the offseason, you have to open up the wallet, and the team owners, they're not afraid to pay people. But you also have to go after, you have to be aggressive going after proven NFL starters, especially when you're talking about protecting a young quarterback like C.J. Stroud.
Indy Kalu, Texans legend, joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. You talk about going and getting proven talent, and I certainly agree with that. And Nick Caserio put this thing together. He's taken a lot of heat. At one time, man, might be the greatest GM in the NFL. Today, not so much. Nick Caley, though, this seems to be a guy in over his head. There's times where they show D'Amico on TV, and he looks like he wants to be in one of those "Want to Get Away" commercials. How does D'Amico right this ship, or does he survive this?
Oh, he'll survive it. And look, I'm going to be biased when talking about D'Amico Ryans, but I just think that this is a guy that can right the ship, that can be a part of getting this in the right direction. But you need the horses, you need the players, you need the general manager to bring those guys in. And I don't know whose decision it was to, and I'm not saying he shouldn't have been brought in, but the same thing that I just said about being aggressive, getting proven players, you might want to have that same thought process when it comes to coordinators as well. And I know some people will say, well, do you want the same old run-of-the-mill coordinators that have been recycled? I don't know if you want that, but I probably, if I have a young up-and-coming quarterback, if I have an offensive line that's been struggling, I probably don't want to mix in with that someone who's never called a play in the NFL as an offensive coordinator. And this is easy for me to say right now. Hindsight's 20/20, so I'm not even going to sit up here and act like this is a I told you so, because I was trying to convince y'all in the summer that we're going to be booking tickets for the Super Bowl this year. So I'm not going to sit up here.
Fun.
Yeah. So I'm not going to sit up here and act like it. I was optimistic that these additions. Here's the thing with general managers, with the decision makers. You have to believe that they know something that I don't know, Jason, Joe, that we don't know. That's why they're getting paid the big bucks to put these teams together. Anybody can go out there and say, okay, let's go sign that Pro Bowl tackle and just open up the checkbook. Let's go sign the hot commodity offensive coordinator from another team. So, yeah, anybody can do that. So that's why I was wrongly optimistic during the offseason, because I'm thinking, okay, you know what? Nick Caserio is a very, very, very sharp individual. He's had success before. If he's going to bring in Ed Ingram, if he's going to bring in fill in the blank for whoever these offensive linemen are, then maybe he sees something that I just haven't had a chance of seeing. But as of right now, they're playing the way people were afraid that they were going to play, people being Houston Texans fans.
Well, Indy, what's frustrating, and I'm not a Houston Texans fan necessarily. I was pulling for them last night. I was hoping they'd win that game. But
or at least cover.
That too. And when the Texans, they had some momentum, and they had 3rd and a half a yard.
Yeah.
And you ran the same play twice that was stuffed. That kind of stuff just has to frustrate the hell out of every Houston Texan fan out there. And I think that's why Kaylee's catching the flack he's getting today.
But doesn't that go both ways? I mean, you mentioned 3rd and half a yard. That's one of those deals that's like, come on. I don't even know if I put that on the offensive coordinator. Like, you got to pick up that first down. At that point, it just becomes pride, mano y mano. But I do get it. I mean, when you see the same play, it's not working. But when you talk about down and distance, at some point, the player just has to say, I'm going to beat that guy in front of me. So in that scenario, yes, it's still annoying. You still want to see them get creative like other teams do. But
I wanted a quarterback sneak, Indy. That's all. Quarterback sneak would have been great.
It would have been great. You got, these big, strong backs we talked about in the preseason with British Brooks, Dare Kumbawale, Nick Chubb. Can I get some push from the guys up front and let's just run it up the gut? So it was very, very frustrating and eye-opening. And the thought is, can they turn it around? Like when you see certain teams, like for instance, the Dallas Cowboys, if they play bad, you still feel like they can beat anybody, in my opinion. I can't speak for anybody else. Like, just with the talent that they have, you get the sense if they play a good game, they could beat almost anybody out there, even though they, played pretty badly some games this season. But with what I saw from the Texans yesterday, it's like there's going to be some games where it feels like the other team just has more talent, has a better offensive coordinator, and it's just not going to happen.
Indy Kalu joining us here on the Blitz, longtime NFL player, and you were on some really, really good teams and some that weren't. When you were on teams that weren't really good, and like last night, perfect pass to Nico and he drops it. Then you got times where CJ looks kind of lost or rushed, or his clock is on fast forward. At that point, how do you fix that? Is it salvageable, or is that guys that know they're on a bad team, know they can't win, and they're basically going through the motions?
No, I will say this. There's no way this team is going through the motions after, 6 weeks or 7 weeks when you count the bye week, 6 games in 7 weeks. And here's the thing. Nico Collins dropping a pass, I just shrug at that because that's a dedicated superstar who is not a prima donna. He's one of the best there, in the AFC, top 10 wide receiver, and he puts in the work. That's just one of those, oh, God, dog, like, it's just not our night. So I don't look to that like they've given up, they're going through the motions. That's a good player who made a bad play. But I've been on those bad teams where, and as you said that, Jason, I started going through my mind, like, what was it like on those bad teams? I was on a team that started 0-7. And from what I remember, there was also a lot going on that didn't have to do with football on those teams. Like, for instance, that team was a team where North Turner was fired in the middle of the season, and, guys were starting to think about their paycheck and playing just so they can make sure they get good film. We didn't have that collective goal. On the few bad teams, there's only the few bad teams that I've been on. But the good teams, you still had that goal. I was on a very good Philadelphia team where we started off. I don't remember exactly what the record was, but after like 4 or 5 games, we had a losing record, but we knew we were good. It was similar plays like a guy like a Nico Collins dropping the ball, our big play guys who cared. Things weren't bouncing our way. But then once it started to click, man, we just went on a roll, went to the conference championship game. Is that going to happen with the Texans? Probably not. But my point is, it's not to the point yet where guys are just like trying to get the season over with. I've been on teams like that, and you could almost see it on the football field.
Well, maybe D'Amico Ryans needs to do what the Baltimore Ravens are doing. Getting rid of the distractions. They took out the ping pong tables and all the stuff that the players do in the locker room.
Video game consoles, cornhole. They put them in timeout in Baltimore.
Yeah, put it all out to get rid of the distractions. Is that going to work, ND?
Maybe if we're talking about Pat Neff Middle School, but I didn't know about that. That seems kind of weak to me. And I'm a huge John Harbaugh fan. I'm surprised that lets me know that he's desperate because he's typically an even kill guy. He treats men like men. Like what's taking the what'd you say ping pong table away?
According to the Ravens coaching staff removed several distractions from the locker room, including the ping pong table, cornhole boards, basketball hoop, and video game consoles, according to the Baltimore Sun.
See, now that season's over. When a coach makes a decision like that, are you telling me like when they're in team meetings, like going through X's and O's and watching film? What's the quarterback whose eyes are separated too far? Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson sitting there. He's sitting there in the meeting room saying, "Man, I can't wait to get on that ping pong table and play Matabuike. He owes me one." Like that's weak. That means the coaches have lost the team. Like I never like to call a season this early, but the Baltimore Ravens might be done if they're doing that.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Indy, watching Houston last night, and for entertainment purposes only, I watched a lot of the Miami-Cleveland game on Sunday. It was in the early window. Who's worse right now, Miami or Houston?
No, I'm going to go Miami because they're both playing pretty bad ball. And keep in mind, Houston's at least beating the bad teams. They're beating the bad teams. So that's where I'm going to give the nod to Houston because I believe that if Houston plays Cleveland, they beat Cleveland. No, they're not. Heck no. Come on, Jason. That's a bad. That's a.
I was just seeing how long you would dance with that. I mean, but it does feel like Chicken Little. The sky is falling when it comes to the Houston Texans, and I think part of that is they came into the year with high expectations, and you look at what the Colts are doing. I don't see how Houston has a path to winning the AFC South, and without that, are they a playoff team?
No, there's no, in my opinion, there's no wild cards coming out of the AFC South. For any team out of the AFC South to get to the playoffs, I think they have to win it. So, yeah, there has to. We've seen it before, but it's going to have to be a heck of a run for the Texans to catch up with the Indianapolis Colts, especially with the way that they're playing. But they could still turn it around, and the question is, why were there these expectations coming into this season, especially when you've gotten rid of your best offensive lineman who was on the worst offensive line group in the NFL? So this is kind of a reality check, but but it's playoffs. Like I don't think playoffs is something worth talking about right now. It's just trying to get this thing back on track.
Yeah, they've got some tough games coming up too. I mean, my goodness, they haven't even played the Colts yet, so there's some rough ones coming up. I got to ask you, Indy, were you ever on a team that you thought had a pretty good chance, and then there started to be trade rumors about guys coming in, about your team maybe bringing a star player in? And I say that because there's a lot of rumors today about Max Crosby and the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe Cowboys making a trade for Max Crosby from the Raiders. Were you ever in a situation like that?
You know what? I could be wrong, but I feel like there's more trades now than in the late 90s and early 2000s in the NFL, because I just felt like there were years, and Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, there were years where the trades then came and went, and we didn't see a single trade, or maybe it was just like the 52nd guy on a roster being traded back and forth. But I say that to say, Joe, that no, I was not a part of it, but I just don't remember there being big in-season trades during my career.
And it does feel like there's a lot more activity at the deadline, but also you got to remember, Indy, you played before there was a thing called Twitter, and so trade rumors weren't nearly as relevant as they are in 2025.
No, that's actually a good point, because I remember, I don't remember the actual player. It actually might have been a teammate of mine, but he talked about, and it's is gone. It's been pretty famous. It's been talked about a few times. One of the players saying that he didn't realize he was traded until he saw it on the ticker, watching ESPN. So, yeah, I'm from that era where you learn things from the ticker on ESPN.
It's nuts when you think about it. Now, let me ask you this. Can a player like Max Crosby make that much of an impact on a Dallas Cowboys defense if they were to pull off a trade?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a huge Max Crosby guy. And the reason I say absolutely do I say it is because, that's a team, not just on the defensive side of the ball. That's a team that's a couple of pieces away. And if you could add a piece like Max Crosby, I mean, that can solidify where you're at, your standing in the NFC East. But is he better than Micah Parsons? And that's one thing that I've always thought was weird when certain teams, like the Texans did it, and it ended up being a success for both teams. They basically let Jonathan Grenard go to Minnesota, and then they signed Danielle Hunter from Minnesota. And it's like they're both balling, but it's like, okay, well, you could have just kept the guy that you had. So the question is, if Max Crosby comes to the Dallas Cowboys, is he going to mean more to that defense than Micah Parsons? Absolutely not. But will he upgrade and bring that defense up to close to where they were playing with Micah Parsons? Absolutely.
Well, I don't know, Indy. I kind of think Max Crosby overall is a better player than Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is a game wrecker. He's a pass rusher. But I think Max Crosby brings you a little more of everything than a Micah Parsons does. I mean, you can run against Micah Parsons. That was the big knock on him. You run right at him, and you can have some success. Max Crosby, I don't think that's in anybody's game plan.
You know what? I'm not going to argue with you. They're different kind of players, and they're both so great. It's similar to the Magic Johnson, Larry Bird argument. It's like, yeah, you can pick one, and you're really not wrong. So if you're telling me Max Crosby is better than Micah Parsons because of what he does against the run, I would say I understand that argument. But with Micah Parsons, you could also drop him in coverage. You could have him rush from a two-point stance through the A-gaps. You could line him up as middle linebacker, as a blitzer. So they're just a little bit different, but no, you're not going to hear too much of a pushback from me if you decide that Max Crosby's better because what he does against the run, because that is so important.
Did I just hear him tell you you're really wrong, and he gave you a lot of reasons why, but he's too nice with that Rice education to tell you you're wrong?
No,
that's kind of what I heard.
All I will say, ND, is that Max Crosby has an interception already. I don't see one on Micah Parsons' stat sheet. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
So well, look, I'm no big Micah Parsons apologist. I'm no big Micah Parsons apologist at all. Like, I'm a little old school. I like the whole be seen, not be heard, and the whole podcast and talking about what's going on in your locker room on a podcast during the season. Like, I'm not a big fan of that. I love the way Max Crosby moves around on and off the field. So, yeah, but as a player, Micah Parsons, I mean, he's different in my opinion. Like, and here's the thing: with certain players, I'll be kind of late to the party. Believe it or not, like with a J.J. Watt, I was all, okay, he's getting all this hype because he's a good All-American boy from Wisconsin. So when I first really started breaking down his film, I was almost doing it to hate on him. And when I was I was the biggest J.J. Watt fan ever. I was like, God, dog, like, this dude is for real. Similar to Michael Parsons, I'm like, man, I'm sick of hearing about this guy in his podcast and what he's saying off the field. But then when I watched him play, I'm like, okay, this dude's a game wrecker. Like, he's a disruptor.
Very well said. Now, think about this, Indy. If the Cowboys are able to pull off this Max Crosby trade, and let's say one of those Green Bay picks is going to be needed for that, Jerry Jones will then have essentially traded Micah Parsons for Max Crosby for a number one pick, and they get Kenny Clark. That'd get him GM of the year, wouldn't it?
Man, that's strong when you break it down like that. And here's the thing. When he traded away Micah Parsons and he was able to get Kenny Clark in the first-round picks, I thought that was a good trade. Like, I remember texting my buddies the shrug emoji because they were all mad. Can you believe this happened? And I'm like, I think y'all are so, not y'all, but I was telling like my friends who are Cowboy fans, and unfortunately I have a whole bunch of them. I was like, I think y'all are getting so caught up in the fandom of Michael Parsons. Y'all don't realize how good of a trade this deal was. And not only do you get Kenny Clark and you get the first round picks, you don't have the strain of having to pay somebody the richest defensive contract in the history of the NFL. And you can still add pieces to kind of get the same production. It's going to come from multiple places, multiple pieces to have the same production. But as a business move, I wasn't mad at it at all.
You know, ND's just like me. We study at the University of Jerry Jones.
Mm-hmm. Was not sure where you were going to go with that.
he is a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not mistaken, he's a self-made billionaire. According to the biography that I watched on Netflix. Did y'all see that? That was amazing, by the way.
Yeah,
that was a hell of a documentary.
Yeah, it was. Can't wait for that to come out on the story of Indy Kalu.
You know what? That would probably put everyone to sleep because that would be one boring ass story when it's all said.
It's just like watching the Houston Texans last night, man.
The highlight of that story would be my Saturday walks to Ingram Park Mall and going straight to JCPenney and using all the free cologne to cover up the sweat from the mile walk to Ingram Park Mall. That might be the highlight of that biography.
That's genius.
But that's a true story. We used to do that. Me and my boys, it was about a mile walk to Ingram Park Mall. Every Saturday we would walk there. Then we would go straight to JCPenney where they had the sample colognes and just spray ourselves, then go try to talk to girls. Emphasis on try.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I was just going to leave that hanging out there. I mean, some things are obvious.
Yeah.
You know, it was before Axe body spray.
Or the bathroom polo, huh?
Indy, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Y'all keep up the good work. Talk to y'all next week.
Good stuff. The great Indy Kalu on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
All right, we're running late. When we come back, can you believe the Aggies got caught cheating?
Oh, what?
Wow, how about that? That's a true story. We'll explain when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, I got to talk to you about my good friends at Stevens Roofing and Solar. Love talking about Stevens Roofing and Solar. Family-owned company, local company, and did you know they've been in business since 1983? That is a long, long time, and I don't have to explain that to anybody, right? You're in business that long, you're doing it right, and you got a long, long list of satisfied customers, that is for sure. Stevens Roofing and Solar is that company. And if you've been thinking about getting your roof checked out, you think you got a problem, maybe it's leaking, maybe there's some stuff on top that just doesn't look right, and you want to get it checked out to make sure everything is okay, call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. Have them send a team out to your house. They'll do it for free, and they'll get up there, they'll check it out, they'll make sure that it is all sealed up properly, energy efficient, and make sure there's nothing wrong. And if they come down and tell you, you've got a spot over there we should probably take care of, or it might be times you want to start thinking about a brand new roof. Either way, it's going to give you that peace of mind. And look, if you've been thinking about adding solar panels to your house, Stevens Roofing and Solar is the company to call. I already told you they've been in business for a long time. They do it right, and they make sure that you are satisfied. Don't put it off any longer. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994, or you can visit them online at stevensroofing.net.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers, this is KTFM Floresville.
Boo! I'm your old cheap water softener. Trick or treat, I got news for you. I'm not working again. Some days I just don't feel like it.
Just imagine what the inside of your home's pipes look like with all that hard water. Now that's scary.
Oh yeah, my bad.
I'm Jason at Connecticut Quality Water Softeners of San Antonio and the Hill Country. Don't let your old sporadic water softener ruin your house. Get a Connecticut. A Connecticut system can actually lengthen the life of your appliances, protect your pipes from buildup, and gives you soft skin and silky smooth hair.
Oh, don't listen to him. Stick with me, your old junky water softener. I'm lazy, but cute.
There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Connecticut is the last water softener you ever own. Call us at 210-656-PURE. And right now, we'll give you a free reverse osmosis drinking station right at your kitchen sink.
Ooh, I'm tired. I need to take another break.
ConnecticutSA.com.
It's Truck Month at North Park Chevy in Castroville. Buy a new 2026 Silverado 1500 Custom at the low price of $33,999, plus 2.9% financing for 72 months. Save $10,000 off MSRP on the new 2025 Silverado Heavy Duty. Lease a new 2026 Colorado for only $299 a month. No dealer add-ons, and we deliver anywhere in Texas. Together, let's drive North Park Chevrolet. 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com. Must qualify. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free.
Endurance has paid hundreds of millions in claims. Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-690-8974. That's 800-690-8974. 800-690-8974.
From a fender bender to a total loss, Davis Law Firm has a team of expert attorneys ready to get you back on the road with the verdict or settlement you deserve. Y hablamos español. Want more? Call the Fours. Davis Law Firm San Antonio, 444-4444.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Flight by Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
The NBA season begins tonight. Couple of games on the schedule. Houston at Oklahoma City. Golden State will visit the Lakers. Spurs will make their season debut tomorrow night against the Mavericks in Dallas. World Series is all set. The Toronto Blue Jays will take on the LA Dodgers beginning Friday in Toronto. And Houston Texans wide receiver Nico Collins' status for Week 8 uncertain after he left Monday's loss in Seattle with a concussion.
This Sports Center update brought to you by Twin Peaks.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday afternoon. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix, and we appreciate you stopping by on this Tuesday and spending a little time with us.
Absolutely, and lots of comments on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel with this trade talk. Rumors out there, Trey Wingo, the original source, Raiders and Cowboys having discussions about Max Crosby.
I like it. I like it a lot. I hope there's something to it. I really do. Love to see him in a Dallas Cowboys uniform. What will it take? How much would Dallas have to trade away? What would the cost be? That's the question of the day. And will the Raiders even contemplate trading away Max Crosby?
If the price, it's interesting because their season obviously isn't where they thought it would be.
No.
And a couple of things that make sense is Max Crosby's under contract for at least 2.5 more years at about $80 million guaranteed. He's from Dallas, went to high school in Dallas, so it'd be coming home. But at what cost? Now, Jerry did say when they traded Micah that they've got cash flexibility, they've got pick flexibility to make a move now or down the road. What do they do with those picks that they got from Green Bay ultimately will determine how good of a trade that was for the Dallas Cowboys. Max Crosby, think about it. If you use one of those picks, and I do think it will take one of those picks.
Yeah.
The Raiders are going to want at least a first-round pick. Now, whether that's one they got from Green Bay or their own, one of those picks is going to be there. And I do think it would only be one, not two. You might ask for two to start with, but one of those first-round picks, maybe a player, maybe a third or a fourth, I don't know. It depends on, really what are the Raiders interested in and how desperate isn't the right word, but how desperate is Jerry to get a Max Crosby, right? You might want a Max Crosby, but at what value?
Well, and that's the problem, and I think the Raiders might know that. And I think it's not just the Cowboys. I think anybody that's calling, once they find out Max Crosby is actually on the table, the Raiders can command whatever they want. Now, are they willing to make a deal, or are they saying, we really don't want to trade him, but if you give us this, we will? So I don't know what position the Raiders are in, or Max Crosby for that matter. And he may have a lot of say-so as to if he gets traded, number one, and where does he want to go.
And that's the other part. I mean, by all accounts, Max Crosby, Raider for life. Although we also heard the same thing from Micah Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You hear that from a lot of guys. The way this year is going, and maybe Max is like, yeah, you know what, I really tried here, but I want to go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know you put a star in your helmet, the attention, the off-field possibility, all of that increases tremendously. Now, is he the difference of the Cowboys getting a ring or not? Probably not. Could he be the difference of this team being really good that just misses the playoffs versus really good that makes the playoffs because you make that defense just enough better to complement that offense? Now, there are some people on Twitter that have suggested it would take a one and a George Pickens. Would Jerry weaken the offense to strengthen the defense?
Just looking at it, and nobody can crawl around the head of Jerry Jones, so I don't know what he's thinking. But looking at it, I think that offense is pretty good. You got CeeDee Lamb back. That's a big price to pay. The only reason that I would think about that, Jason, is because George Pickens, I don't know what his plans are. I don't know what his plans are long term. Does he want to go somewhere else and try to be a number one receiver? Is he happy in Dallas? Would he take less money to stay in Dallas and play for the Cowboys for another 4 or 5 years? I mean, I'd have to know what George Pickens is going to do and what he wants to do before I'd even contemplate something like that.
It's interesting because Jerry was asked about George Pickens today during his interview on 105.3 The Fan. And, obviously, he, him, haws, and, you got to have all this kind of stuff. The question is it cheaper to get a deal done early, like now?
Well, there's no reason not to. There's no reason to. And so I can't give you a why not other than the timing might not be good for any of the parties involved. And so and that has many, many reasons, not only from the player's perspective, but from the club's perspective. You're asking that question that I've had to ask 1,000,000 times in my life by my mama, by my wife. Why did you do it? Hell, I don't know why I did it. I was just there.
Now, again, if you're shopping them, there's no reason to talk about an extension. If you think this is somebody you want long-term on your team, yeah, you would want to. I don't know, the longer you wait, the more expensive he's going to get. The start to this season that George Pickens has had, especially when he was wide receiver one while CD was missing games, he probably became more expensive.
Well, and another reason why I think he thinks he's a wide receiver number one. He wants CD Lamb money. I mean, if he didn't, that'd be dumb, wouldn't it? I mean, you think you're a number one wide receiver, you want to go out and get that. I have no reason to believe that George Pickens wants to sign an extension during this season. I think he's going to test the free agent market. Why wouldn't he?
Although Jerry was asked, have there been any talks with Pickens and his representatives?
Make that an either-or, and I'm not trying to have issue with the way you're phrasing your question today.
Mm-hmm.
But any and everything about George Pickens is crossing our mind.
Ooh, I like to hear that.
And when you say, does that generate conversations? It certainly can generate conversations between people in our building without George being in the room. And it can cause a lot of conversation, I'm sure, around the league. But the answer is certainly he's a topic of interest and discussion because of the success he's having.
Absolutely he is. And why wouldn't he be? And if you're the Dallas Cowboys, you want to keep him and not pay him, $30 million a year. I mean, yeah, you want to do that. I'm just saying, if I'm George Pickens, I'm thinking I'm a number one guy. I want CD Lamb money with whatever team I go to next, and that's going to be upwards of what, 40? What's CD making? $40 million?
Not quite, but wide receiver money's going up.
It's going up. So that's how I would look at it. I don't know if that's how George Pickens is looking at it or not, but if I'm Pickens or his agent, and we got plenty of time, and we got the benefit of. You're a number one guy, and you proved it when CD Lamb was out.
Now, long term, can the Cowboys pay a Pickens and make a trade for a Max Crosby and bring on that salary?
Ooh.
Now, I'm not saying you've got to trade Pickens to get Max, but you trade for Max, and that might be, all right, well, we're not going to have Pickens. Now, you got a Trayvon Diggs who's making a lot of money. Can you get rid of Diggs' salary and basically just transfer that over to GP?
Well, I think that's going to happen. I really do. I don't think Trayvon Diggs is long for Dallas. I think he's worn out his welcome there, and Jerry has basically said as much in a lot of the sound bites we've heard lately. So how that affects the cap, I'm not sure, but they do have a lot of money to spend. Can they make it all work? I'm sure they could. It just depends on what Pickens is going to command.
Well, what we do know is all the owners are together right now in New York, which is kind of interesting because, well, owners' meetings are going on. So, there could be a discussion between, the Raiders and the Cowboys over dinner.
Uh-huh.
That's a possibility.
Sure.
But some of the discussions, some of the things that we're hearing out of the owners' meetings, especially from Woody Johnson, are just comical. Just comical.
Yes, they are. And, most of these owners, I guess, are not too far away from a Jerry Jones when they get a mic in front of them, and that's probably why they stay away from putting a mic in front of them, that's for sure. I told you we'd talk about these guys. Texas A&M, if you're watching on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, they got caught cheating. We'll tell you why and what it cost them when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas. Services nationwide. Up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. The Cowboys are in Denver taking on the Broncos at Empower Field at Mile High. Pre-game at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, the Davis Law Firm, Hornitos Tequila, Connecticut, and Jim Beam.
You like that? How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Guys, we're in the thick of football season, and you know what that means. Underdog, the best place to get in on the action. Playing Underdog's so easy. You just pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on their stats. Rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, more. You get it right, you could win up to 5,000 times your money. This week on Underdog, I'm going back to Old Reliable. My good friend Dakota Prescott keeps on putting up yards. I'm going higher on that. And if we're going with Dak, we might as well pair him up. Let's do CD higher on receptions as well. Double dip with those Dallas Cowboys. Keep the profits rolling. So simple to play. Download the app today. Sign up with promo code ALAMO, ALAMO, to score $100 in bonus funds or bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code ALAMO. Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a hump day on the morning huddle, and it's opening day for the San Antonio Spurs, Rob.
Game day ballin'. Let's do 26th season is on the way. Are we going to see an MVP caliber play tonight? Lots to talk about. Football around the corner and NBA. I'm so excited. Get here early. The party starts at 6.
It's the morning huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, Jason. The Aggies on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page not happy when we called the Aggies getting caught cheating.
Well,
is cheating too strong a word in this case?
It is not, but all the Aggies on our YouTube page trying to defend themselves understand the Aggie Honor Code. An Aggie does not lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those who do.
Never.
Oh, boy. Yet the SEC today fined Texas A&M $50,000 for faking an injury in the fourth quarter of that win over Arkansas.
A very difficult win over Arkansas. They also reprimanded head coach Mike Elko.
Mm-hmm.
And there's video of this happening, apparently.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but the SEC says there is.
The player had no contact during the play, and he returned to the game on the second play in the ensuing defensive possession. Now, just prior to the player going down, an A&M staff member can be seen in the video standing in the team area near the 25-yard line signaling demonstratively to the player pointing to the ground. Then the player went to the ground. And then they stop the game, and they come out, and they treat him, and then he goes to the sideline, and then a play goes by, and then he's back out on the field. Now, Mike Elko in a statement. We respect the SEC's decision and understand the importance of upholding the integrity of the game. While we accept the ruling, we do not agree with the decision and want to be clear that we never coach or instruct players to feign injury.
Well, somebody forgot to tell that assistant coach.
Texas A&M football remains firmly committed to the highest standards of sportsmanship, competitiveness, and integrity. We'll use this as an opportunity to review our processes to ensure that we have better signals for faking an injury. No, he didn't say that.
Well, see, here's the deal. That first line of that statement, we respect the SEC's decision, okay? And so we're certainly not going to appeal it because we would lose.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're not going to do that, but we deny it vehemently.
We're going to it does say we'll use this as an opportunity to review our processes and ensure we continue to represent our great university. We'll review our process. We've got to have a new signal for, oh, no, you're cramping, right?
Exactly. Not demonstratively up there.
Yeah.
Go down, go down,
exactly.
go down.
Exactly.
Interesting stuff.
I mean, it's and again, we all know, whether you're an Aggie or not, what the Aggie Honor Code says. An Aggie does not lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those who do. Unless
you're about to be upset by Arkansas, and then things go out the window, and that's the problem. Look, I don't really care. Alexandra's not happy with us on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page at all. Look, it happened. I mean, you just have to cheat a little bit more, well, in disguise.
Well, what kind of signal do they need to have?
Well, I don't know. It's like maybe a horns down.
No, that's that. No,
you can't do that either, right?
You can't. No, well, no, it's not the Big 12.
Well, that's true. That's true. Look. I mean, they tried it and got away with it. Got the hell scared out of them by an Arkansas Razorback team.
It's a $50,000 fine. And there's no appeal.
And a reprimand.
Now,
I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
They spanked Mike Elko's hiney?
It's something in his file.
They spanked his hiney.
When he goes for his performance review before he gets his next raise.
Greg Sankey said, "Come here, bend over, Mike. I got to spank your hiney. Don't do that again."
Speaking of spanking heinies, one of your favorite people on earth.
Who's that?
The coach of the Denver Broncos.
Oh, yes.
What's his name?
I don't know. Donkey.
It's
Sean Donkey.
Did you know you and Russell Wilson have something in common?
Is that right?
Apparently a love for one Sean Payton.
Well, sure,
So
yeah.
This was Sean Payton the other day leading into the game this weekend.
I have a ton of respect for that organization. I spent 4 of my early years there coordinating Super Bowl, first game in this stadium before 9/11, close with the Mayor Tisch family. And, you know, they found a little spark with that quarterback. I was talking to John Mayer not too long ago, and I said we were hoping that change would have happened long after our game.
Seems like a dig at Russell Wilson that they went to Jackson Dart.
He would have rather faced Russell Wilson than Jackson Dart, and I understand why. Dart almost beat them.
Yeah, well, and probably should have, although he did throw a dumb interception. Well, anyway, that was from Sunday. That video has been floating around. At 3:39 this afternoon, so about an hour ago, Russell Wilson, I guess, saw that on Twitter and quote tweeted that video and said, "Classless, but not surprised. Didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 plus years later through the media. Laughy face emoji, hashtag let's ride."
You got to love it. You know? You got to love it.
Russell Wilson. And look, I mean, Russ got benched. I mean, looked like a Hall of Famer this year against the Dallas Cowboys, and he looked awful since then. And sometimes don't you appreciate a coach or an owner who's actually going to be honest about the quarterback play? I mean, they're fans of the game. They have eyes. They see it. Did you hear the owner of the New York Jets today, Woody Johnson, talking at the owners' meetings in New York, trying to assess how his new coach, Aaron Glenn, is doing?
What's your confidence level in Aaron to turn it around?
Well, it looks like he's turning around parts of it. It's hard when you have a quarterback with, with a rating that we've got. He has the ability, but something just is not jiving. But if you look at any head coach with a quarterback like that, you're going to see similar results if you go across the league. You have to play consistently with, at that position, and that's what we're going to try to do for the remainder of the season.
So what gives you hope then? What's the give hope?
I just think defense, special teams are doing better. The defense is pretty good. And
the defense is good.
If we can just complete a pass, it would look good. We got to complete some passes. You got to convince them that you can do something. Otherwise, it's hard to have have a game that you can win.
You got to complete a pass, Justin. He's not going to get an opportunity unless Tyrod Taylor gets hurt now, though, because they've already switched quarterbacks.
Yeah, shortly after that, Tyrod Taylor was named.
Yes, as he started quarterback.
If we could only complete a pass. I mean, look at our quarterback and his rating. Every coach would be winless at this point with that. Our defense is good. They've given up 13 points the last 2 weeks and lost both games. Is that true?
Their defense is pretty good. Well, they gave up 13 points against the Panthers and lost 13-6. So I don't know what it was before that.
Denver, I think, was at 13 to 11.
13 to
right?
11. So 13 each of the last 2 games. So their defense is playing well, Jason. It really is.
But our quarterback sucks. I mean, nobody can win with that.
Well, maybe they should fake an injury late in the game, and maybe that would help.
Cramp? If we could only complete a pass. Now, my question, how do you go back to Justin Fields when and if Tyrod Taylor gets hurt?
Well, you have no choice. If he gets hurt, I don't think you go back to him unless he gets hurt. I think Justin Fields' time in New York is done, and maybe anywhere else.
I mean, Pledge is going through what the hell are you writing up there? Tyrod always gets hurt. Backup plays out of his mind. That's right. When he had his punctured lung, that was a weird injury.
Well, let's see there. The list that you named there: Herbert, Mills, Allen, and Lamar. I don't think Justin Fields belongs in that list. I'm just saying. I don't know.
All those guys can complete a pass.
Yes, they can.
But he's never come off the bench in relief of Tyrod. Maybe he can complete a pass then.
Yeah, well.
Just keep in mind, Woody, You guys passed on Daniel Jones for Justin Fields. You guys passed on Mac Jones for Justin Fields.
And I think both of those guys are saying, thank God that happened.
I mean, Justin Fields is the one that they identified and gave a 2-year, $40 million contract.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I know Danny Dimes is thrilled because that team he's on is pretty damn good, and he's playing well. Mac Jones playing well also for the 49ers in the absence of one Brock Purdy. Interesting stuff. Justin Fields, look, it's the Jets and Cleveland. It's where quarterbacks go to die. I mean, my goodness. But at least he got $40 million.
Yeah, he's got $40 million. I mean, do you see him post-game? Like, yeah, I'm good.
Yes.
I mean, he's at peace and, got very religious in his post-game, and he's comfortable. He knows that, and he's got $40 million. Right? I mean,
that's a good consolation prize.
When the owner's like, if we could only complete a pass. Like when I first saw that on Twitter, I had to, one, check to make sure that wasn't AI, and two, that was from like reputable New York media. And then you see other national media posting the same video, like, man, that's real, because you hear that from an owner, that almost sounds like it's some fake AI. Well, I mean, our quarterback with the rating he is, who could win? If we could only complete a pass, right?
What he's saying is not
I
false.
mean,
it's true.
I love how honest and candid I mean, he's a fan of the team, and he's frustrated like everybody else. That probably doesn't make a Jet fan feel any better, because you signed off on signing this guy, but
Jet fans are used to it.
They
I think
are.
the last time they did anything, Joe Namath was the quarterback. It was a long time ago, was it not? Hey, the NBA season begins tonight, and the Spurs, they don't begin tonight. They begin tomorrow against the Dallas Mavericks. Victor Wembanyama talked yesterday, and he's got some thoughts on this pending vote, or the vote that's going on right now, for the new Spurs arena. We'll hear from Wemby when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to SASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
There's only 4 teams left in the playoff picture. Who you pulling through for this year's World Series? Catch every pitch of the Championship Series at Twin Peaks, where the bases are loaded and 29-degree draft beers are at bat. Twin Peaks, your #1 sports bar.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Orthopedics. If you're tired of pain slowing you down from a recent injury or something that's been nagging you for years, we can help. At Orthopedics, we've earned the trust of over 8,000 physicians by delivering fast, lasting pain relief without painkillers or surgery. Our hands-on approach targets the root cause of pain, and most patients see results in just one visit. No referral needed, and it's covered by most insurance plans. So don't wait. Visit Orthopedics.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Orthopedics. We fix pain fast.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-936-9033. 800-936-9033. 800-936-9033.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/sports. QUO.com/sports.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
Attention passengers, we've reached 10,000 feet and internet is now available for purchase.
I just paid hundreds for this flight, and you can't even throw in internet? I'll just take the free pretzels.
Sorry, but I do have snack boxes for sale.
I'm just gonna sleep.
In that case, we are selling pillows and blankets as well.
I'll just breathe. That's free, right?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
That guy pulled out in front of me out of nowhere. The police are on their way, but I'm really shaken up.
Don't worry. We're going to get you taken care of. You made the right call.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you've been hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck, call Davis Law Firm at 444-4444. We're ready to help day or night, and there's no fee unless we win.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Hard to believe the NBA season begins tonight. Houston at Oklahoma City. Golden State playing at Los Angeles. I guess OKC's going to have their little ring ceremony celebrating a championship. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix.
You know the cool part about tonight's games?
What's that?
They're on NBC.
Yeah, that's true.
Which means Mike Tirico is back calling the NBA.
Wow. And they're going to have that swanky music they used to play, right? They're coming back. Plus,
will they have the Kawhi laugh added in?
I'm not sure if they'll have that or not, but you got Barkley and all those guys tonight, too.
Are they doing NBC?
Or maybe it's not NBC.
No,
they're coming back to ESPN.
Yeah, the ESPN.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right. I saw a commercial for that. I guess it was last night that they were coming back. So I guess it's after the Spurs game, I think.
Tomorrow night,
yeah.
Spurs, Mavs on ESPN television. Opening night for the Spurs. Wemby talking yesterday, certainly excited about the season to get underway.
I mean, very, very, very excited, of course. You know, I miss that it's adrenaline, you know, the stakes of the game. And, yeah, I'm sure it's huge for our rookies, too. I'm going to talk to them, ask them how they feel, but I'm curious to compare, you know, our experiences. But it's, of course, I miss it more than anything else.
Well, he had to miss a lot of last season, too. I'm sure he's anxious to get back and get going. I know he said that he's excited about the players that he's playing around. And so, well, I don't know what a successful season says to Victor Wembanyama, what he thinks a successful season looks like.
Success would be, you know, getting to the playoffs and not playing. So I guess that means 6th seed.
Say again?
That means 6th seed.
60?
60.
Did they say 60 or 6 seed?
60.
60.
60 wins, as in 6-0.
60.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I mean, I'd happy. I mean, 45 I'd be good with, but you know, you want 60. I appreciate a stretch goal. Let's call 60 a stretch goal. Get into the playoffs.
A stretch goal. I think every team in the league would be happy with 60 wins.
Well, I mean, you know, some might want 82.
Well, I'm sure they do.
I mean,
that ain't happening. 60 wins. Good for him. I mean, you might as well shoot high. 60 wins. Wow. What?
There's no pleasing you.
60 wins, dude?
All,
I mean, that's
season,
unrealistic.
all I heard from you. Come on. Why won't anybody put a goal or an expectation out in the public. Wemby does that, and now you're blowing him up for it.
When did I say that? I don't remember ever saying that, but okay.
Because they've been very vague with incremental growth, and we got to be better each day, and you've been mad at that answer. So he finally put a number on it.
Wow, okay. All right. 60 wins a lot for anybody. I mean, isn't it? Just saying. I remember being mad about that. I'm not sure, but I mean, I guess different show. I guess I don't know.
I mean, you're grouchy about a lot of different things. Maybe Pledge is confused, or I don't know.
Sure he is.
I'd be happy with 50.
Yeah, I'd be happy with 40.
And again, well, no, see, 40's below 500.
Well,
that might not get you in.
Well, it may not.
I mean, the first. Let me hear that again.
Success would be, getting to the playoffs and not playing. So I guess that means 60.
Or 6th seed.
That means 6th seed.
6th seed.
Okay.
Is it 6th seed or is it 60?
It's 6th seed, it sounded like right there.
So at the very least, he doesn't want play-in, he wants playoff. So at the very least, 6th seed. 6th That's what
seed.
I thought I heard him say.
Okay, all right. Well, that's a lot better than 60.
Well, I don't know. I like the stretch goal.
60. 6th seed is a hell of a lot better.
Are you good with that?
I'm fine with that.
Sounds like he's settling.
I'm fine with that. 6th seed. Yeah, why did you say number 1 seed?
Well, he's being realistic.
He might as well go for it. I mean, why not?
Because he doesn't want home court throughout? You think he's selling himself short?
Let's go. Number 1 seed. If we're going to do it, let's do it. Number 1.
What is realistic for this Spurs team? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Somewhere in between the 6th seed and 60 wins. Let us know on the phones, on Twitter, at Joe Reinagle 210, at Jason Minix. Or if you're watching on YouTube, you can always comment there. 6th seed, 60. Anywhere in there.
6th seed. What's the win total? I can't remember from last year. About 50? Maybe upper 40s?
No, last year? No, because
I'd have to look.
Things went south in a hurry. Now, they're going to play a Dallas team tomorrow shorthanded. It's the Spurs' first injury report just arrived about 5 minutes ago. No surprises. No De'Aaron Fox, no Kelly Olynyk, no Jeremy Sohan, no Lindy Waters. No surprises. Cooper Flagg, available for the Dallas Mavericks. And Wemby did talk about going up against Cooper Flagg tomorrow in his NBA debut.
I haven't really studied, but seen lots of highlights, obviously. I've always loved the intensity. And, I think it takes some humility to play with such intensity in an era where, for young players, it's cool to be nonchalant, you know what I mean?
Okay. By the way, officially, the Minnesota Timberwolves were the 6th seed. They won 49 games. So there you go. It doesn't take 60. Nobody won 60 except for the Oklahoma City Thunder, who won 68. Just in case you're wondering.
What's wrong with 82?
Well, there's nothing wrong with it if you can do it. I just don't think anybody's ever done that. I think, what's the record, 72?
72 or 73.
Yeah, it's up there.
I know the Bulls went 72 one year, right? And then didn't Golden State do 73?
They might have.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's pretty damn good.
The Spurs' best record, I think, is 62-20.
Yes. So 60.
Off the top of my head. I'm just guessing.
I'm just guessing too.
I think that.
Well, but, look, I mean, I ought to give you some hope. It's 49 wins. I mean, the over and under is 44.5. They crush that. 49 wins, 6th seed. Wemby gets his wish.
I'm good with that.
With what? 49 wins?
I'm good with 6th seed no matter what it takes. You know, we keep talking about this team needs to get postseason experience.
Uh-huh.
Now, you look at the West, got better, right? What was their win total last year, Pledge? When you look at
Spurs, 34.
Yeah, 34 wins. You know, could you imagine going from 34 to 49, right? 34 to 44 would be huge. But 44 probably gets you in the play-in tournament and not the 6th seed.
Mavericks got in with 39 wins last year. They were the 10th seed. Sacramento, 9 at 40. And then Golden State and Memphis were tied with 48 wins for 7 and 8. They're tied at 7, tiebreakers, whatever. But I'm just saying, so 39 wins got Dallas into the play-in tournament.
So basically, if you reversed your record, you had 48 losses a year ago. If you can turn that into wins this year, that would be a remarkable turnaround. Now, granted, part of the only reason they got 34 last year is because Wemby had blood clots. We only got 5 games with De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama. And it does feel like it'll be sooner rather than later for Fox to get there. He's going to play, the way it looks right now, the vast majority of the games. How good is Steph Castle going to be? You look at some of the other offseason moves that they made, and I'm still very curious to see Mitch Johnson and this new staff and what their fingerprints look like on it. Last year, I felt like Mitch Johnson was basically just following Pop's game plan. I don't know how much real authority, even when they knew Pop wasn't coming back, Mitch Johnson really had as the interim head coach. You look at the staff that he's put together. I'm just very curious to see ultimately what all of this looks like, although until De'Aaron Fox is back, we're not really going to have an idea.
I don't know if we're going to have an idea for the first several weeks. I mean, because I think Mitch Johnson's going to play with this lineup for a while. He's got a lot of options. How is he going to use guys? And I'm not just talking about a starting lineup. I'm talking about how the substitution patterns and all of that. I think it might take a little bit for Mitch to figure all of that out with what he's got. So about, I don't know, mid-December, late December, I think you'll kind of figure out the identity of this basketball team, and hopefully they've won some games along the way. Look, the West is brutal, and it's going to be brutal again. With Oklahoma City, they're the projected winners of this thing. Denver's going to be good again. I think Golden State will be better than they were. Dallas is going to be better. It's just a brutal conference, and it has been for, as long as I can remember.
Well, that's it. And the question is, do the Spurs have enough horses to keep up? And I don't know what you excuse me. I don't know what you make. You don't get too high on it, but they did go undefeated in the preseason. And that doesn't really mean anything except for a team like the Spurs has to learn how to win games. And they did that. And some of those games did go down to the wire, and they had to figure some things out late with players that are going to be in there during the regular season. And you look at a Kelly Olynyk who didn't play at all in the preseason, is going to miss the opener. So that's another piece that you're going to be able to add in here in a little while. I don't know. I'm excited about the start of this season. I feel like I said that last year too, and maybe Wemby's rookie year. Although Wemby's rookie year, I think most of us had realistic expectations for what that season was going to be. It wasn't going to be cutting down the nets at the end of the year of his rookie year.
Well, Pop made it pretty clear, if you'll remember.
Yeah.
They weren't trying to win.
No.
They were just getting Wemby, feeling him out and seeing where he was.
And last year, we started with high expectations that all went to hell when, at the All-Star break, although they weren't playing great. And then you still got questions on this guy and that guy. How's Vassell going to be? Thought it was interesting that they didn't pick up the option on Jeremy. What does that mean for his future with this team? But ultimately, I do feel like this is a better overall roster than what Wemby has had while he's been an NBA player.
Well, I think Steph Castle's going to be better. I mean, we saw what he could do last year, winning Rookie of the Year. How's Dylan Harper? I mean, what is he going to be like? Those are some of the options I think that Mitch Johnson's got to figure out, where to stick those guys and plug those guys in. That's why I think it's going to take a few weeks before we know the true identity of this team. But I want you to listen to something that Wemby said, because he talks about the future in San Antonio, his future in San Antonio, with the vote that is going on right now.
Of course. I mean, I think about my future and my present all the time in San Antonio, of course, and recently a little bit about the arena, because it's been subject recently. But for all areas of my career, of course, I'm very intentional, as you said, with my career, and even though some things take time and patience is needed, you know, I've never been one to waste time.
What does that tell you? Have we not been saying that?
Mm-hmm.
That Victor Wembanyama is not going to wait around and for this to not skip steps. That's exactly what he just said right there. He wants to play on a winner. I mean, that's exactly what he said. He's intentional with his career. He wants to play on a winning team. He knows patience is there, but it's time to go.
Well, in intentional with, we need to get the Wemby Center built. For one, but two, he does want to win. You know, it's interesting. Richard Jefferson said something very interesting on ESPN in what Wemby wants and kind of what he has told the organization.
There's rumors in the basketball universe that very early on, Wemby told the people in San Antonio, I need some more help. That means his focus. He told it wasn't like a rookie. He's playing. We'll see who we draft. And he's like, I need better basketball players.
I'm not here to waste my time.
I need better basketball players around me. And now, mind you, he is the type of player that you move quick on. Right? Like Zion Williamson.
Yeah.
And they put a team around him. That's what was so disappointing about Zion, is that they threw a team around him because he is one of those players that if you get, you move quickly. Blake Griffin. They drafted him, and they're like, here's Chris Paul, here's Jamal Crawford, go.
It's okay sometimes to let people know what you want.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
And sometimes if you don't, they don't, like, you can't expect them to do their job.
But when Perk
100%.
says he's mean, you 19 and you walk in there, it's like, go get me some help. They're like, hold on, big fella, we got you. Hey, De'Aaron, Chris Paul, like they brought in help, and he's got a good roster around. So I'm not questioning his level of competitiveness.
And history tells us that like 7'4", 7'5", 7'6", 7'7" guys, 8 foot, they don't have 14, 15-year careers. No. You know what I mean? So I hope that he does, but history tells us that like his window is not like everyone else's.
But human bodies aren't necessarily designed to be.
That's why I went to see them Shaolin monks.
Yeah.
Meditating on the knee.
It's an interesting conversation, and I believe it. And hearing what Wemby just said before we played Richard Jefferson, he's intentional with his career. The time for waiting around to be a winning team is over.
And I think everything that Wemby has said, everything that Pop has said, everything is done very intentionally, and I do believe that the Spurs and Wemby's team had a plan, and what we saw the first year was part of the plan. Last year, plan got a little bit derailed just because circumstances and blood clots. This year, you could just see various upgrades that are out there, and you know they're right. You know, tall guys like Wemby, their careers aren't typically as long. So if he wants to win and dominate, he's got to start winning right away. And him winning isn't just getting into the playoffs. That dude wants to fill a big old trophy case. But how tall is this dude? I mean, 8 feet, 7'3", 7'7". Wemby was even asked yesterday, dude, what's the mystery about your actual height?
No, I don't sound like it. It's more like over the years, it's become a non-subject to me. You know what I mean? Because in my opinion, there's so many more interesting things about me. Yeah. So the truth is, sometimes I'm surprised. It's still a conversation because, the truth is, in my mind, it doesn't really make a difference. That's true. I'm taller than everybody else. That's all you need to know. But that's true. I'm surprised by it as well.
I'm just the tallest guy in the room, any room I walk into.
Why didn't he just say, I'm 7'7"?
There's such I mean,
he could end it all right now and nobody would ever talk about it again.
Yeah, I'm 7'7", 7'8", 8 feet. I don't know, when I got a 7'4" bub on saying I'm looking up to this guy. All right. But it is weird. Of all the things, that's what is so secretive, is actual height.
It's baffling. Yeah, it honestly is baffling. We're going to talk more Spurs basketball coming up in the next hour. Jeff McDonald with the San Antonio Express News is going to join us at about 5:15 or so. But the big news today is the rumors that are floating around about, a trade, perhaps. The Dallas Cowboys for one guy by the name of Max Crosby, who currently resides in Las Vegas with the Las Vegas Raiders. We'll talk about that and who knows what else when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, if you're having issues at the house, at the office with your plumbing or your AC, there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899 is the phone number, 651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are experts at worst-case scenarios, big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. They've got a great experienced staff that has earned a A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. They do not have commissioned sales reps. They will provide estimates and second opinions. And while I talk about it in emergency situations, and they're fantastic at that 24/7, they also have great maintenance programs that ensures your unit is ready for every season. I know we haven't needed a heater yet, but at some point soon, maybe we will. You want to make sure your heater's ready to go for those 2 days that we actually have to use it. Call Quartermoon. They make sure it's ready to go. 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers, this is KTFM Floresville.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Another episode brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but Prize Picks, well, I'll tell you what, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season. As the basketball season begins, Prize Picks is here for you. And whether you're a football fan, a basketball fan, or any kind of sports fan, there's always the games to be played. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash if you're a Spurs fan. More than victor all the time. Heck, it only takes about 60 seconds to make your picks, and you can turn those picks into cash. It feels so good being right. Now, I told you about Wemby. Dak's on an MVP kind of run. I like the more thans with Dax all season long. On Prize Pick, how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose the Flex Pay, where you can get paid even if one of your picks misses. And if you want the biggest payouts, go for the Power Play. Up to 2,000x, no matter your play. Prize Picks is a great way to put your takes to the test. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code ALAMO to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's ALAMO to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Greatness is here. All 830 of our famous footwear stores now carry Jordan brand. So it's easy to score Jordan brand footwear and accessories, from hats to backpacks to socks, for the full family at a store near you. Famous Footwear's in-store fit experts will help you find the perfect style and the perfect fit. Because every day is a chance to make it famous. Come in and shop Jordan Brand footwear and accessories at your local Famous Footwear store today.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, that's the big news of the day. Cowboys making headlines. Former ESPN anchor Trey Wingo reporting the franchise is inquiring about Raiders defensive end Max Crosby. He is under contract beyond this season. He signed a 3-year, $106 million extension earlier this year. NFL trade deadline is November 4th. Houston Texans wide receiver Nico Collins' status for Week 8 uncertain. He left last night's loss in Seattle with a concussion.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a Tuesday afternoon, this is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And it's 5 o'clock, 5:03 in fact. If you're getting off work at 5 o'clock, congrats. Tuesday's over. You're sliding into hump day. That's right. Your work day, the hard part of Tuesday. The hard part of Tuesday is over. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix. Lots going on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, Jason. They said everybody that went to vote today saw a lot of old people.
Are we stereotyping?
Maybe. Sam says there were a lot of old people voting today. Then he says one of the guys behind him, about 60, voted for A and B. So just because they're old doesn't mean they're voting against props A and B. I'm old, and I voted for it. No comment, huh? Jeez. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully these people are they understand the future of this city and progress. And they don't fall for the BS that's being peddled by some people around town.
The BS is ridiculous. And you look at and you think about those that are talking negatively about props A and B. And you wonder, do they even believe what they're actually saying? I mean, they can be against it just because they're against it. But to just go with the misinformation, people that are in some sort of authority position or have influence on, the stuff that you hear from Cops Metro and Father Jimmy, and it's like, what? They talk about it like they believe it, but show me what you're actually telling me where that's true. There's too many other people, and again, I don't necessarily always believe politicians on either side. But when I see all these various business leaders in our community that are for props A and B, business people that know that this is good for business and this is good for San Antonio, that's when you go, okay, I'm trying to find the negative in this, and there's not really a negative.
I don't see a negative either. Down the line, we're going to have to get educated, the whole new SAWS thing and all of that. But we're talking about just this. Right now, the vote that we're voting on now is not going to hurt 99.9% of the residents here in Bexar County. Unless you go to a hotel, unless you rent a car, it's not going to affect you. Even if you rent a car, it's not going to affect you. You're going to pay 5% regardless, just where the money's going.
Well, that's it. And again, this money is earmarked for venues. If it's not used in San Antonio, the state of Texas is going to take it and utilize those same dollars somewhere else. Now, something else that I saw today on the SAWS deal, because that is something that could be affected, and the price of whatever they've got to do with that keeps kind of changing. And I remember when we were talking to Ron Nuremberg, the former mayor, about this. It was the first time I'd actually heard about the SAWS part. But I saw a deal today where Peter Holt says that SAWS thing doesn't even actually have to move to build the arena. It doesn't. They want to move it because there's some pluses to moving it, but that's not even a requirement as far as this project is concerned. At least the arena part.
Well, it's interesting, and maybe it's just for the rest of Project Marvel. I don't know, but this it's being tweeted, and it sounds there. I haven't heard it. Have you listened to him? To Peter Holt?
I just saw some clips of what he said.
Yeah, I'd like to hear what he has to say, and maybe we'll have it, and Pledge can put that up there. But yeah, it's going to be confusing, and that's the problem. I don't know what the SAWS deal is. I know there's a bond vote going to happen in May.
Yep,
that's going to help pay for all of this. But Peter Holt was talking somewhere, and according to at least one tweet from a reporter, says that he didn't make a lot of sense. So I don't know.
Well, and there's a lot of complications here, and this is what you have, and this is what you have in A plus B. And David Macias does, on our YouTube page, make actually a pretty good point. If you're going to vote during working hours, odds are you're going to see a lot of the old and retired. That actually does make sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or guys that don't come to work until 12:30.
Well, I mean, that's what I was. But again, you went when the old people are going.
I suppose I did.
I mean,
almost got flipped off.
Dude,
I tell you, the guy was pissed at me.
Well, because he thought you were going to snag his parking
spot. I had no intention of snagging his parking
He doesn't know
place.
that. He saw it. It's like at HEB. You see a good spot, you think it's yours because you saw it first, regardless if somebody else did.
All he had to do was just be patient for another 5 seconds, and he'd realize I wasn't going to take his spot.
You mean an old man be patient?
5 seconds. That's all he needed. And, I don't get the flip off, but I get the hands up in the air.
Do you ever think, Joe, love you, man, but you have more issues on the road with other drivers, and it's always their fault.
I'm a perfect driver.
Therein lies the problem.
Perfect.
I mean, all of us over time have some sort of issue with somebody else driving, and it's always their fault. You, on a weekly basis, have a run-in with somebody while behind the wheel of a car.
You've driven with me.
I have.
Right. Well, I've been driving the car. Any issues that you've noticed?
No.
No?
But I haven't seen the reaction that you draw. So it does make me wonder, when you're alone in the car, do you drive differently?
No. Not at all.
You seem to have more issues with other drivers, and it's always their fault, than most people I know.
Well, I've heard, I've had 2 incidences that I've talked about on this radio station. One I was merging in, doing exactly what I'm supposed to do.
With no blinker.
Well, again, we've established the fact that you don't have to use a blinker when you're merging. I mean, any moron can see that lane ends. We're gonna have to let these people merge.
I mean, the blinker's there for a reason.
It's not there for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not there for merging. Merging is just you merge, and I mean, you have polite drivers, or you should have, but apparently we don't have those.
We
here
drive
in San
Texas
Antonio.
friendly here. Do you see the comment there from Alexandra on the YouTubes? Just saying. Just saying.
I don't know, man.
The common denominator is Mr. Reinagel.
I think it's the other way around.
The other people?
Well, they're pissing me off.
They're pissing you off.
I did nothing. I mean, I'm leaving this place, and the guy's trying to park right in front of me, and my car's moving, and it's not like it's stopped.
Well, he was racing for the parking spot. You probably had your blinker on and didn't even know it. He thought you were going to snag his spot.
I had no blinker on at all.
We've already established he doesn't use his blinker.
Does your blinker make a noise?
Does your blinker make
It makes a noise, right?
I mean, yeah, my 1978 Oldsmobile.
Yeah. Well, your car doesn't make any noise when the blinker's on?
I don't think so.
I think it does.
It might.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know. I don't use it.
Exactly. You see that? Everybody's piling on me. Nobody believes this stuff or does that.
Or when you have issues, most people just let it roll off the back, but you hang on to it for hours and hours. You're going to go home and you're going to be at dinner tonight telling the story about the guy that took your spot. That wasn't even your spot.
That wasn't my spot. I wasn't parking.
But the guy didn't know that.
Well,
there's one good spot up front. He thought you were going to get it. He beat you to it.
Yeah, well, and he could have it. If he'd have waited 5 seconds, he would have known that.
Big Dog 63 believes you.
I know it. And that's the only intelligent person in that chat room, apparently.
Are you Big Dog 63 on YouTube?
Maybe. I might be. Yeah. We're getting personal now. Gilbert P's asking me how many divorces.
Wow.
I'm telling you, see this?
Wow.
Man, people are brutal today.
Wow.
Brutal today.
Wow.
It's all right. It's okay. I do use my blinker to change lanes. It's not. Merging is not changing lanes. It's different.
Are you changing lanes?
So now wait.
Are you changing lanes?
I'm moving because there's nowhere else to go.
Are you getting from one lane to another?
So let me ask you a question. So if you're driving and you're in the lane that's not merging, are you going to let people in, or you just go past them and be an ass?
It depends on where I'm at.
You're going to be an ass.
No,
is that what you're telling me?
No, here's the thing. Every Friday night in the fall, I'm leaving a high school football stadium.
Right.
With thousands of other people.
Yes.
And it's a pain in the ass. You're sitting in traffic, and you got people coming this way, that way, and everybody just kind of follows the general rule. You go, you go, you go,
exactly.
you go, you go,
exactly
you go.
Right.
And you know what? Most have their blinkers on.
No, they don't.
They have their blinkers on.
You know what? I want proof, Minix. When you're leaving the station Friday night or the stadium Friday night, I want proof.
All right.
You better have your phone on. I want proof because I don't believe you.
I tell you what, Joe. Why don't you on Friday night stick around, enjoy the game? It's Taft against Harlan is our quarter moon game of the week. Get yourself a Frito pie at Gus Stadium and leave the stadium.
No, I don't think I'm going to do that.
I really don't want to know, do you?
I don't need proof that bad.
All
no,
right.
I don't. I'm not going to do that. I don't know what something's going on Friday night.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should get proof.
Mm-hmm.
People don't use their blinkers in San Antonio. Come on. Mm-hmm. See that? Frank Valnez knows what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You don't use it. Man.
Little road rage, huh?
It's a rough show today.
Would you leave that microphone alone? You're going to break it.
I'm about to break it, damn it. I'm about to.
Let's talk to Jeff McDonald coming
up.
All
right, Jeff McDonald, San Antonio Express News, and he covers the San Antonio Spurs. We will talk some Spurs basketball with Jeff when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First of all, let me brag a little bit about my Kinetico quality water softener. I love this thing. I've told you this before. If you listen to the show at all, you know that I love this thing. And I was really a skeptic. I got to tell you, I didn't think it would be any better than anything else I've ever had until you put it in and you start using it and you know that it is head and shoulders better than anything else I have ever had. It is an incredible product. It's made right here in America. And look, Kinetico's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. And I love the fact that you don't plug it in. It does not run on electricity. However, it provides soft water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're going to love the way your clothes feel. You're going to love the way you feel when you get out of the shower. It is an incredible feeling. You just feel clean. You don't have to worry about it. And right now, they still have this deal going on. It's unbelievable, but this is incredible. If you buy a Kinetico quality water softener, they are going to give you a free reverse osmosis drinking station that they're going to install right there at your kitchen sink. It matches all the other faucets that you have. It looks like it's been there forever, but it provides that clean water. Just like bottled water, you don't have to buy that anymore. You've got it right there at your kitchen sink. They got 0% interest for 12 months. 0% interest for 12 months. It's free money. Give Kinetico of San Antonio and the Hill Country a call. The numbers to call, 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can get them online at KineticoSA.com. And you know the jingle, sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Kinetico.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and AARP Texas are sending Cowboy fans to Jerry World to see America's team play all season long. How do you get in on the action? Head to SASportsStar.com now and register to win. SASportsStar.com. Live it up with the boys in the Big D from AARP Texas and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's Truck Month at North Park Chevy in Castroville. Buy a new 2026 Silverado 1500 Custom at the low price of $33,999 plus 2.9% financing for 72 months. Save $10,000 off MSRP on the new 2025 Silverado Heavy Duty. Lease a new 2026 Colorado for only $299 a month. No dealer add-ons, and we deliver anywhere in Texas. Together, let's drive North Park Chevrolet. 10 minutes outside Loop 410 in Castroville or at npchevy.com. Must qualify. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've been representing people injured in traffic collisions here in San Antonio for more than 30 years. After a collision, I've spoken to many people who wanted to believe that the other driver's insurance company would be fair and they really didn't need an attorney. They thought that the insurance company would pay their medical bills and do the right thing. I wish that were true, but trying to go it alone is a big, big mistake. If you have been injured, please know the other driver's insurance company has adjusters and attorneys working against your interest. If insurance companies were trying to get to heaven, I'd be out of a job, gladly. That is just not the world we live in, though. Call me as soon as you can if you are injured in a traffic collision. I do not charge anything to review your case with you. I'll tell you what you need to do and what you should not do. If you want a smart and fair result, you'll need to make smart decisions along the way. And that is what I do. You and I will make smart decisions for you and your family, and we'll get justice and fair results. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The NBA season tips off, and so does DraftKings' newest fantasy game. DraftKings Pick 6 is the easiest way to play for big wins, with every possession giving you a shot at real money. Here's how to play. Just pick more or less on 2 or more stats and unlock the upside every game brings. The better your picks, the bigger your payout. Pick 6 is available in your state. Plus, new DraftKings customers can get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. Don't just watch basketball, cash in. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code KTFM. That's code KTFM. Play just $5, get $50 in Pick 6 bonus picks. Make the call. Ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
The Halloween parties at the Rue Pub have become legendary. Plan now for the biggest and best Halloween party in San Antonio, Friday, October 31st. Kick off the party weekend at the 12th annual Halloween party with DJs inside the Rue Pub and Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. No cover charge and a $1,000 costume contest at midnight. This is the Halloween party you don't want to miss. Friday, October 31st, the Halloween party of the year. We'll see you at the Rue and wear a costume.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer goes one-on-one and has some fun with the Morning Huddles. AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
All right, here's the part of the interview where we've got to be jerks and ask you about the defense.
Yep. Can we get that out of the way early next week? After we talk about Travis Kelce's.
We talk about the important stuff first. We like to lube you up and put you in a good mood.
Brian Schottenheimer's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings, presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The NBA season is upon us. 2 games tonight, and then, of course, the Spurs kick off their season tomorrow night in Dallas. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix.
And let's talk some Spurs basketball with Express News Spurs beat writer Jeff McDonald on the Buyers Barricades guest line. First road trip of the year. Jeff already made it to Dallas with a little bit of a delay. How's life?
Yeah, I made it. It was good. I enjoyed the bumper music coming in, though. Appreciate it. I feel like that's my theme song now with you guys.
Yeah,
maybe so, yeah.
Absolutely. $5 if Reinagel knows what was playing.
I have no clue. But it sounds good, Jeff. I think it fits you, my friend, so that's good.
All right, we'll take it.
He has no clue about you and Pearl Jam. But
Okay,
just saying. Just saying. Expectations for this year, Jeff, obviously playoffs. You heard Wemby say that yesterday. I'm curious, though, first year starting with a new head coach. And I know Mitch Johnson had a long runway as an interim coach, but what impact, what differences will we see now that this is truly Mitch's team?
I think that's still to be determined, I think. But I think now he has the chance to put a little bit more of his stamp and his flavor on things that he just didn't have last year when he didn't have the title. You know, he was just the acting coach for 77 games last year. And, you know, those of us who have been around the league realize that you do all your installation and all your practicing really in training camp. And once that's over, it's really hard to reinvent the wheel. So when Mitch took over, Mitch probably guided 3 full practices, not talking about shoot arounds or walkthroughs, but maybe 3 full practices last year because teams just don't have time to practice during the grind of the season. So there was basically what you had installed in training camp is kind of what you had to go with moderate tweaks here and there, but you can't, he was really just kind of, the way I've heard him describe it is we were just trying to get to the next day, man. Like we were just trying to keep the whole thing from, you know, catching fire, the whole house from catching fire. We didn't really have there wasn't really a lot of time or leeway to be able to figure out other things. And now he's had 6 months since the end of last season to the start of this one where he's the guy in charge. Brought in a new staff, almost an entirely new staff. There's a couple holdovers, but it's fair to say a revamped staff, a supercharged staff maybe. And all those guys have been talking about different ways to use Wemby, different ways to kind of organize the defense, even stuff down to what the rotations might look like. And so I don't know if there's going to be something just totally like mind-blowing that you're going to see night one that's just like, I can't believe Pop never thought of this. But I think as the season goes on, you'll start to see it to be a little bit more of Mitch's team.
You know, Jeff, you bring up something interesting there, and I remember Pop saying this all the time. It's the rotations and figuring out who plays well together, and really that is sometimes a season-long thing. It would change throughout the season. For Mitch Johnson, it seems to me that might be the, I don't want to say hardest part for him, but the thing that it might take a little while before he figures those rotations out and who plays well with whom.
Yeah, exactly, and especially with, you know, the 5 he starts tomorrow against Dallas is guaranteed not to be his preferred starting lineup when things get going because De'Aaron Fox isn't there. De'Aaron Fox is going to be hurt. And when Fox is healthy, whatever they trot out there tomorrow, which I have a pretty good guess, but whatever they trot out there tomorrow is going to be a little different. Like De'Aaron's going to be the starting point guard when he's healthy. So it's almost like you have kind of a placeholder lineup a little bit in there. And anything you figure out around it now is going to change when De'Aaron comes back. So, but that's the same. It's the same every year for a lot of teams. You know, you're dealing around injuries and absences and kind of adjusting the rotation accordingly. And it's a year-long, like you said, it is a year-long thing. And the idea when the Spurs were good, when they're playing for championships, it was always basically mid-February on is when they wanted to get things like, this is what we're doing. This is where we want everyone to be, everyone to know their roles. And usually that was kind of the purpose of the rodeo trip, was to iron that stuff out. So if the Spurs are, you know, the team that they want to be this year, and at least in the mix for that stuff, I think they might follow the same kind of pattern where there's a little bit of an experimenting the first few months, but by mid-February, March, you really want to have an idea of what you're doing.
Jeff McDonald of the San Antonio Express News here on the Blitz, listening to some of the things that Wemby said yesterday, especially when it comes down to winning. Is there more of an emphasis on winning with an actual get-to-the-playoffs goal in mind versus, say, Wemby's rookie year where it was, let's just figure out what this kid needs as an NBA player, to last year, we're not skipping steps? Are we done with all of that and the focus is wins matter?
Oh, your short answer is yes, but to put a number on it or to put a seeding on it, Wemby was the only one who was going to do that. I thought that was good. It was a friend of all of our friends. Don Harris was kind of poking around with everybody they brought to the media scrum yesterday about really trying to pin them down on what constitutes progress this year. Is there a number of wins? Is there a playoff seed? And everyone else said what you kind of expect them to say, which, no one's really going to say, if we don't win 52 games, then this was a total bust. Or if we don't make the playoffs even, it's a total bust. No, none of those players or coaches or Mitch Johnson is going to say that out loud, even if maybe they believe it. But so they would just talk in generalities about, well, if we just can continue the progress we've been making, but no really like tangible number on it. And they bring Wemby over, and he's like, yeah, if we don't get the 6th seed, it's a total waste. and it was interesting to me because he's the one guy, he's the one guy that can say that. He's the one guy with the cojones, shall we say, to say that, and the one guy with the confidence that he can back it up. Nobody else really, if I had to guess who was the one guy that was going to bite on that, knowing exactly what he was doing, it would be Wemby.
Jeff, I find that interesting, and I want to ask you, I don't know if you heard the Richard Jefferson comment that Wemby went to management and said, I need some help. Have you heard anything like that?
Yeah, I haven't really heard anything about that along those lines, no. I know there's always dialogue between them. Knowing Victor, I seriously doubt there was any kind of demand or any kind of do this or else. I know they're very in tune with Victor, and there's always an open dialogue with those guys, even down to the fan section that he wants to do. He's got his fingers in everything. But I didn't really hear the Richard Jefferson comments, but I would really doubt that Wemby's doing anything demanding anything at this point.
Based on some of the moves that they did make, and obviously, year 2 for Steph Castle, what we might see from Dylan Harper, but some, a Luke Cornett coming in. I mean, does this training camp, as you get ready to see this season get tipped off, does it feel different than it has, say, the last 5-6 years?
It has, and I will tell you the main reason is because of the man we just mentioned, Victor, and I think a lot of that stems from him just being off the floor for so long. I mean, he hadn't played before the preseason started. He hadn't played a competitive basketball game in front of fans since February, and so he's just been chomping at the bit to get out there. And so as soon as they unleashed him to play in the preseason, he's just playing with so much energy and so much spirit, just because he's been pent up this whole time. And I think when your star player is playing that way, everybody else just kind of follows along. And I think it definitely was the most entertaining preseason that I've ever covered of the Spurs. And not just because they went 5-0, but just it was the type of basketball you don't normally see in the preseason. A lot of that had to do with they played those guys most of those guys in every game, and not just for a quarter or not just for a half. Sometimes it was 3 quarters. Sometimes there was a time or two, I think, when they got into the 4th. So they were going after it, and I think all of that is just going to help them be ready to hit the ground running. That said, I don't put a whole lot of stock in. They were 5-0. They're going to be great on Wednesday. But you've at least got a little bit of confidence if you're those guys that you're on the right track.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I'm with you. I don't put a lot of stock in preseason, but Minix and I talk about maybe they just need to learn how to win. And maybe if anything else, that kind of helped them say, you know what, we can get this done, and winning feels pretty good.
Yeah, I think winning's always helpful in whatever, in whatever way it comes. And like we're both saying, we're not going to put a whole lot of we're not going to overrate what they did in the preseason, but they look good. They look like they had a plan. They look like they were connected. The players that played looked like they had a feel for each other and some chemistry. And that might all go out the window tomorrow. I think they might, but for now it looks good.
Well, and again, you mentioned tomorrow, the season opener for the Spurs tomorrow on the road against the Dallas Mavericks. Some guy named Cooper Flagg is going to get Wemby-like attention tomorrow night from ESPN. It will be on national television. What is your expectation for tomorrow? What should our expectation be?
Man, it's like set your height meter to stun on this one, because it's Wemby versus Cooper Flagg, and you got the number 1 pick and the number 2 pick, and you've got the last 2 rookies of the year plus the guy who's probably going to win it this year, and then you've got Anthony Davis is involved somehow. So I mean, there's just a whole lot of angles, a whole lot of star power. I think, as with any of these, it's going to be who can turn off their nerves first. I think everybody's going to be a little antsy, a little jacked up, jazzed up, and it's who can settle in fast. I think it might be you might see some sloppiness from both teams at first, because it's going through this with Wemby 2 years ago. His debut. There's a lot that goes into that when you have the number 1 pick, and it's a very high profile number 1 pick. Like, the Mavericks are going to have some. I don't want to say distractions, but maybe distractions to sort of navigate around. I mean, it is what it is. It's a big deal when you have number 1 pick in the draft, and it's not Alex Sarr. It's Cooper Flagg or Victor Wembanyama or Anthony Davis or Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, those guys. Like, it's a big deal, and so the Mavericks are going to have a little something to deal with, and whether they can deal with it or not will kind of go a ways towards determining how this goes.
Well, I know Spurs fans are ready to get the season underway. I got to ask you, Jeff, you've been doing this for a long time now. How do you feel with the season about to get ramped up, and your life belongs to the San Antonio Spurs for a little while?
Well, I'm ready. I'm ready. For a long time, I wouldn't say this out loud, but it's sometimes it's okay to be done in April. When you're in my shoes, when you can just book a vacation, go somewhere nice in April or May. But that gets old after a while. I'm good with a nice, exciting Spurs season. Win some games, be in the mix, be relevant. Be in that playoff hunt, man, and play some games that matter. I think it'll be good for the team, and I think it'll be good for the people that watch the team, the fans, and good for us that follow it and have to chronicle it, because you can only cover so many 22-win seasons in a row before you're writing the same drivel over and over, man.
Well, I mean,
right.
that is true. And you've been doing this a long time. I still can't believe they haven't made you update your media pass credential picture yet, dude. I mean, what was that, from the 8th grade?
It was about 20 years ago. It was. Did you hear the story of they wouldn't let me from the floor to the media room, the security guards, because they couldn't believe the guy on the photo was me. They said, doesn't look like you. And that's a true story. They had to call over like 2 other guys to let me in. It would be, the way I've explained it, it's like if, think about how Manu Ginobili looks right now.
Uh-huh.
If he was trying to get back there with a pass that had like the long-haired Manu from 2005 saying, yes, it's me, it's the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the same thing. And I look as much as like I do. I look as much now as I did in 2005 as Manu looks now compared to him in 2005.
You got the same hairstyle. I mean, it works. I mean, you're working on it. I just can't believe they don't make you upgrade that.
I think it just fell through the cracks. I don't care. I let people think I'm a young man still.
I don't
Absolutely.
know. Pledge is asking, did Jeff really just compare himself to Manu athletically and everything? I mean, he's one and the same. One and the same.
Not athletically.
Yes.
Jeff, have fun, man. Have fun covering the season, and hopefully we're all happy at the end of it.
All right, you guys have fun too.
Appreciate it. Man. Jeff McDonald from the San Antonio Express News, and I think he's right though. You cover 22-win seasons. What are you writing? I mean,
dude, yeah.
It's he's energized because I think he's expecting to be able to write, I don't know, winning game stories as opposed to, having everything but the lead finished at halftime about another 30-point loss.
Well, I just think all of us, I mean, the hope and the expectation this year is higher than it's been in a long time. And so I think for fans, that's a good thing. For sports writers, that's a good thing as well. So hopefully that plays itself out. That's for sure. Hey, we're going to wrap things up here, and we're going to talk and put a bow on this trade rumor with Max Crosby.
There's no bow coming.
Well, there's probably not. We're going to be talking about this for a long time, but we'll pretend to put a bow on it anyway when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, if you're feeling tired, unmotivated, just not yourself, it's not just aging. Could be low testosterone. Good news, though, you don't have to live that way. Synergenics and Low T Center Testosterone Replacement Therapy, they are the MVPs, and they can help bring your energy back. First thing you need to do, simple, go get tested. It's free. One, take the test. It's free at Synergenics and Low T Center. They have an on-site lab. It takes about 15 minutes to get that. And if you need it, you can start treatment right away. And Synergenics and Low T Center, the original MVPs at TRT, they're using only pharmaceutical-grade testosterone, customized to the level that's right for you. Unlike some other clinics that compound their testosterone, you always know exactly what you're getting. Another big win for you, they're one of the only providers that accept most major insurances, while other clinics and online services can pile on charges for labs, memberships, and tests. Synergenics and Low T Center make it affordable and easy to get started and stay on treatment. And they've got clinics all over town, so convenient locations. And you can either decide if you want to go get your treatment in the clinic or receive treatment at home. And not just for men. Through the years, they have helped countless ladies restore hormonal balance. And right now, get into Synergenics and Low T Center, get a free hormone consultation, a free T-test, and you will automatically be entered to win some great prizes like signed sports memorabilia or tickets to a major sporting event. In fact, they have drawings every week. The best version of you is waiting. Reignite your energy. Get back to feeling like yourself. Step one, book that initial appointment. Go to trtmvp.com. That's trtmvp.com.
Dallas Cowboys fans, come on down! It's AJ and Rob from the Morning Huddle, and you could be the next contestant on
The Stat Is Right. Every week leading up to the week of the Cowboys home game, AJ and Rob toss out a Cowboys player and a stat from the upcoming home game. Passing yards, rushing yards, number of times Dak adjusts his wristband mid-play, or perhaps CeeDee Lamb mouthguard chews per quarter. Whatever. All you have to do is predict that stat, get the closest, and bam! You're headed to Jerry World with a pair of tickets to the next Cowboys home game. Think of it like The Price is Right, but instead of winning a blender, you get to scream, "How about them Cowboys?" inside AT&T Stadium. So study up, Cowboy Nation, and listen to the Morning Huddle to play. The Stat Is Right. Only on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hi, I got hurt in a wreck, but I don't know if it's really worth getting an attorney.
Don't worry, you called the right place.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7, and you don't pay unless we win. We recently secured a jury verdict for $210 million in a wrongful death case. So if you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
It's a little quiet on the border these days. Illegal border crossings at an all-time low because Donald Trump and Senator John Cornyn have been fighting side by side to seal the border. Cornyn has led the charge in the Senate, funding more agents, more technology, and more miles of secure border wall, beating back Biden's border failures, taking the fight directly to the cartels. Cornyn stands with President Trump, voting with him 99% of the time, supporting Trump's nominees, confirming conservative judges who defend our Constitution, and together, Trump and Cornyn put America first. They've worked to keep our families safe and our border defended. Yep, it's quieter on the border now because real leadership gets results. Call and thank Senator John Cornyn, 713-572-3337, and tell him to keep delivering Trump's agenda. Paid for by Lone Star Freedom Project, LoneStarFreedomProject.com.
You hear that?
That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/sports. QUO.com/sports.
Calling all Cowboys Nation in San Antonio. Game day isn't complete without the right look, and the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop has everything you need. Whether you're headed to the game or watching from home, the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop has you covered. Find game day staples like jerseys and hats to fan favorites like hoodies and jackets at any of our 4 convenient locations: River Center, North Star Mall, Ingram Park Mall, and Huebner Oaks Shopping Center. We're open 7 days a week. Find the best selection of Cowboys gear only at the Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It's some of the things you see on the internet, man.
Wow.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. What was that, a horse just walking along and just kind of blasted the
It's
Dude.
The tweet says, "Come visit New York, it'll be fun. Take a carriage ride." And the horse didn't have one of those butt shields and had the squirts.
Wow.
And got all over those people.
Hey, yo, I'm walking here.
What?
Jeez, that poor horse, man.
Man,
no, that poor horse, the little girl that got blasted.
I mean,
jeez.
The horse obviously has an upset tummy.
Well, obviously
I mean, why don't you feel bad for the horse?
Well, because that girl's got poo all over her face. All right? I mean, you're sitting there on a carriage ride, and then all of a sudden a horse just blasts you with a turd.
No, the question that I have, I mean, we have carriages downtown. Don't most of those horses have some sort of backside deflectors? Or the carriage itself has something? I mean,
I'm going to damn sure check from now on if I ever ride a carriage ride. Yes.
I mean,
cow.
I mean, you look at that and you realize that seems like a preventable issue, right? Kind of like that new Taco Bell menu item.
Dude, it's nothing like the Taco Bell new menu item.
I don't know. I think this Taco Bell menu item might make you have, like the horse. Now, of the three of us here on this here program called The Blitz on 94.1, only one said they would try this. That would be James Pledger, which probably is no surprise. Taco Bell has added a Baja Blast pie for $19.99, made with Mountain Dew's Baja Blast. Now, it is real, apparently. The dessert has a graham cracker crust, a tropical Baja Blast flavored custard, and is topped with whipped cream.
Well, they're obviously appealing to the folks that like to get high, because that's the only thing that I can think of there, because you're going to eat that if you have the munchies. It looks awful. I mean, it does. It looks awful. It's green.
I mean, it's I don't get it. In Pledge, we're like, oh man, I'm in.
Give it a whirl. It's a Baja Blast flavored cheesecake.
You think that's cheesecake? It said custard. There's nothing about that
It's
looks
key lime pie.
yeah.
Hey, and they'll probably sell a hell of a lot of them. I don't know. How much does a pie cost at Bill Miller?
I don't know.
Or anywhere, for that matter.
I mean, first off, anything at Taco Bell that's $20 seems a little overpriced, right?
That seems really expensive to me.
Reviewers have described it as having a tropical vibe and a gelatin-like creamy texture.
That just sounds awful. A gelatin vibe and a creamy
texture.
Yeah, no.
Well, it's pie.
So is this thing out already?
Apparently, yeah.
Okay.
Or it's going to roll out in November of 2025.
Okay, so next month. That's right for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's order 10 of them.
Exactly.
Jeez, that's awful.
Baja Blast pie.
Yeah. Is that what that girl in the carriage got? Oh, she got a blast pie, all right. Holy cow. Oh, my God.
It's time for our injury update, powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG, Orthopedics and Spine, online at TSAOG.com. Let's welcome on the Buyers Barricades guest line, Dr. Christian Baldwin. Doc, a Taco Bell Baja Blast pie. Would you try it?
It doesn't sound that appetizing, guys. I'm going to skip that one.
Yeah, I mean,
smart.
I'm trying to think, even in college, I think I would have skipped out on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't sound like it would taste all that good.
Well, I don't think so either, Doc. So it's a wise decision. I want to ask you about something that happened last night. Nico Collins, wide receiver for the Houston Texans, diagnosed with a concussion. My question is, they're saying that, he'll be checked out throughout the week and stuff. What do you guys look for to know that somebody's recovered from a concussion?
Well, you really look for remaining symptoms, whether it be a slight headache, irritability to light, to sound, difficulty with reflexes and just, acting like you're supposed to in regards to your athletic performance. The brain, when it takes a hit like that, it can vary in regards to how long it recovers, and you need to keep a close eye on it. And there's specific tests that some of the concussion specialists really look at and various things that you really need to pass and perform well on before you return to play.
Doc, one of the other injuries in the two Monday night games really affected my fantasy team, although I'm really more concerned about Mike Evans. That pass play, the way he landed, coming off the hamstring injury, then it was head, neck, and now they're saying he broke his collarbone, and then I've seen clavicle. I'm guessing those are one and the same. He's not necessarily out for the season, although probably out for the fantasy season, but ultimately what is he going to be dealing with and at this point, this probably won't end his career, but certainly will impact his season.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, collarbone and clavicle, same bone that we're talking about. So, unfortunately, that's going to take a long time to come back from, especially if he's having to have surgery on it and a plate. If it's a small little crack that they're just going to watch, unfortunately, it still takes a minimum of 10, 12 weeks for that to heal appropriately. And especially if he has surgery, it's probably going to be closer to 14 weeks until he returns to contact. The rest of the season for sure is at risk.
Well, in something like that, do you have to be careful, before you start contact again, or you feel pretty confident once that thing's healed, it's healed?
Well, once it's healed, but you have to make sure that it's healed, right? And so the ones that you don't have to do or perform a surgery on sometimes are a little bit trickier because they may appear fully healed on X-ray and you think they're healed, and then a really, really bad hit can kind of refracture it again, which is the worst thing that can happen. But if you do surgery on it, you're fairly certain it heals after a certain amount of time. And a lot of times we're conservative with the clavicles just because we don't want to re-injure them.
Now, I'm curious that with the clavicle, the collarbone, obviously, if I break my wrist, you can put a cast on it, or break my ankle, you can put a cast on it. I'm guessing you can't really do that for a clavicle. Is that why when you hear like a broken ankle, a broken wrist, you're generally 6 to 8 weeks, and with a clavicle, it's closer to 12 weeks?
It can be. They're quite different areas of the body, so different mechanics, different forces on it. The clavicle, in the vast majority of people, it's pretty superficial. You can touch it with your hand. You can feel that clavicle pretty good, and there's not all that much a muscle that's surrounding it and protecting it. And when you're landing on your shoulder directly on the side, all of that force gets transmitted through that clavicle. And, these guys are, as you know, very, very big and muscular. And if they have another guy laying on top of them, that's a lot of force through that clavicle that may have recently been fractured. So you want to be certain that it's fully healed. In regards to an ankle, it's a little bit more of a stable joint, and you can come back from that usually certainly quicker than a collarbone fracture.
All right, Doc, then what about a sprained left wrist? Jeremy Sohan sprained his left wrist in a hard practice with the Spurs. He's going to miss the opener tomorrow night, but a sprained wrist, I would imagine, does that limit your movement of the hand, the wrist? What's the detriment there, and how long does that take usually to get better?
Again, there's multiple ligaments around the wrist, so it really depends on which ligament specifically was involved. There's some that you're more conservative in regards to let him go back and play with as opposed to others. But hopefully it's just a minor, kind of what we call dorsal capsular sprain, and he can come back fairly quickly. But it is really just painful. When you're talking about wrist sprains, they're just uncomfortable, and it's hard to use your hand the way you're supposed to, and handling and handling the ball and making sure that you're shooting properly and rebounding properly can be an issue.
Absolutely. And for the Cowboys, the 21-day practice window has been open for DeMarvion Overshone, Cowboys linebacker, who in December shredded every ligament in his knee. And 3 weeks from now, he probably could be playing. In your mind, is that timetable on the faster side, or because I know there was some talk when he got hurt last year because it was in December that he might miss this entire season. The fact that he could actually play about half the season to me seems a little surprising.
It's certainly a bit aggressive, depending on exactly what he had done during the surgery. We usually put a timetable on these significant injuries of 9 to 12 months, and especially at their level, they're getting the top-notch treatment in regards to nutrition, to therapy, to counseling, in regards to getting their mental state back. So they're obviously a little bit quicker at the professional level than the average Joe, but it appears to be are aggressive. We'll see how he does.
I don't take any offense to that average Joe comment. I'm just saying,
Ryan Angle would have been out for 3 years.
Oh, are you kidding me? And I'm assuming the surgery had to be pretty good job as well, right? I mean, that's where it starts.
Absolutely. You have to feel confident in your surgical reconstruction and repair of whatever structures were injured. And so the surgery absolutely is important. No question.
Good stuff. Dr. Christian Baldwin, always appreciate the knowledge and insight, my friend.
Anytime, guys.
Good
Have
stuff.
A good one.
The injury update powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at TSAOG.com. Dr. Baldwin and all our guests on the Buyers Barricades guest line.
That's going to do it for us, Minix.
It is.
It's about dinner time, isn't it?
It really is.
It really is.
A lemon meringue pie at Bill Miller, $10.
That's what I'm saying. So
half
$20
the price of this Mountain Dew crap.
And I bet you that lemon meringue's a hell of a lot better.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Apple's $11.45.
Bill Miller's pretty good at pies.
They really are.
Yeah, not bad at all.
And fried chicken.
Yeah, fried chicken's okay.
Yeah.
Chicken strips are good. And they're breakfast tacos, too.
They are.
The brisket, meh.
I said Bill Miller barbecue is great at everything but
barbecue. Exactly right. That's it.
Their iced tea, outstanding.
Outstanding. That's going to do it for us. Stay tuned, though. Extra Innings with James Pledger is coming up next. Be sure and join the fellows in the morning. AJ and Rob, the Morning Huddle. They'll get you going at 6 o'clock, and Jason and I will be back here tomorrow afternoon at 2. Have a great night, everybody.